Roman numerals, just like the NFL likes to. It's gonna,
That would require a little bit too much thinking on my part to try to convert
well,
that
yeah,
to
yeah,
Roman numerals.
because I don't remember seeing any movies from the 1770s, so I don't remember what MCM. No, that's
Mm,
1900. Shoot,
hmm
so what would 1700? Yeah, okay, yeah. All right, never mind.
Well, that's all right. We are the anti Super Bowl.
I think that's just marvelous.
Yep, for people
That's
who have a real life, they can sit down and they can watch this exciting broadcast. Have their hot wings, or what are they called? Buffalo wings, hot wings,
buffalo
something like that.
wings,
Yeah,
yeah, buffalo wings, yeah,
have
or
those.
chips and guacamole, because
Yep.
apparently this is like the biggest weekend for avocado sales of the whole year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And
So
they can watch this exciting
yeah,
broadcast.
yeah, you can watch
And
this
yeah,
and you can see, special results
oh my gosh,
laying
there are more
waste
special
to
results. The special results are like a veritable Super Bowl halftime show,
they complete with
where it's
costume
yes,
malfunctions.
it's not costumes malfunctioning, it's die roll malfunctions, where you think that you've got this wonderful 5-to-1 piece of cake walk through the woods kind of attack, and suddenly it all just
Yeah,
goes to hell in a
not
handbasket, and next thing you know,
not so
you
much.
are on America's Got Talent, because nobody else will you're a judge on America's Got Talent, I should say.
you're you're on Hessian's Got Talent.
Oh, definitely, we got Hessian's Got Talent here.
Oh dear. Yeah, good times. All
Indeed.
right.
I
Well, I'm
did
just
thought
kind
I
of
would let you know that
yeah.
none other but the expert of all things bar, Mr. Alan Lass, had sent me a note saying that scenario 3 does not
Yes.
use Army morale levels.
What?
Yeah, and I looked it up, and
Holy
he's
hell! We've been
correct.
playing this whole game and we've been wrong.
Yes. So
Oh
scenarios one,
my
2, and
god.
3 do not use Army morale levels. So um, I thought I would let you guys
Wow.
know about that.
Well, I mean I got to confess it's a little weird. I
Yeah,
mean I
that's
mean
my initial reaction.
well, here's why I think it's weird, because this is practically the entire battle.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few American units that aren't here, but those American units, like, apparently didn't really participate in the battle.
Well, or they
So,
did, but they did earlier in the battle, kind of a thing. Or
well, I mean, that would be different because then you'd have to account for that. Um, anyway, I just think it's. I get it when you've got like an introductory scenario where you got 2 hours to run up and take that hill,
yeah,
at Prague or something. And it's, of course, it's such a small fraction of the battle that army morale doesn't even make any sense. But this feels like the whole battle. I mean, I know it's not the whole battle, but wow, it feels like such a big fraction that um, I must confess that is not expected.
well.
Um,
I mean, there's nothing stopping us from continuing to use Army morale levels.
oh no,
Um,
absolutely.
you
We've
know,
screwed up this far. We
yeah.
can keep on screwing up.
Well, and as I think you pointed out, this actually gives the Americans, so it doesn't matter who wins or loses. We can blame it on our inept reading of the rules, interpretation of the rules.
Absolutely.
Hmm
Yeah, I mean, between the voluntary route fiasco and the army morale fiasco, there's an asterisk next to this result, no matter
Definitely,
what.
definitely. This is like, what is
Man.
it, Barry Bonds, when he hit all those home runs, and then they
Oh,
discovered
right.
he was
He was all
hopped up
roided
full of
up.
all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah. All right.
we're
So
going to
so now
blame
here.
David for being hopped up on
Oh yeah,
steroids.
that's
That was
almost certainly
all
his
of his
doing.
skirmishers are definitely on
Okay,
that.
so here I am looking down, looking down, looking down, looking down. I'm just wondering, where does it say that? I mean, I believe you.
It was there. I mean, I can pull it up. I think I've got it handy here.
Oh, okay. It's probably under the
Um,
introduction to the scenarios. I mean, I
It
assume it would
was
be.
in the stuff regarding the
Uh,
um,
well, I don't see it there.
scenario. It was scenario 3. Let's see if I can find it. Scenario 5,
Oh, it's
scenario
actually under
4.
the scenario itself.
Yes.
Do not use Army morale in this scenario. Yeah, it's pretty unambiguous.
Yeah.
Huh, I'll be darned. All
Yeah.
right. Well, you know what? I mean, this is great. Have at me. Do your worst, because because I'm gonna put a press release, have a columnist on the New York Times. It's gonna talk about how
How it's fake
it was
news. It's fake
it was
news that
all
the
it
Americans
was
lost at
all it
Brandywine.
was all stolen from me.
Exactly.
That's my story,
Exactly.
and I'm sticking to it. All right. Might be difficult. Maybe I'll put it in the Philadelphia Inquirer since the New York Times is currently controlled by Crown forces. But whatever. Who am I kidding? The Philadelphia Inquirer is probably busily like putting casters on their printing presses and trying to get the hell out of town.
There you go. All right.
Ah,
Well,
because they've got the word from Dilworth. What's going
that's
on?
right.
Not good things going on.
George Washington's at
Um,
Dilworth.
Yeah. So, all right. So, given that that these numbers are fraudulent, but so it's plus 13 for me and it's plus 5 for you.
Correct.
All right. Very good. All right. We've already done the Army morale segment. So it's basically the top of the hour, and so it's plus 1 to you. So far, so good.
Well, it's not because we used Cornwallis or we used Howe to influence the die
Oh,
roll,
so
didn't
you
we?
did. So it's even. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
No, you are quite right. All right. Well, there you go. It's even. So I will just roll and we'll see what happens. Oh my gosh. Well, we didn't waste any time getting. And of course we've only got 4 before we hit the end turn here during this hour. So make it count, boys, because there aren't
Right.
going to be many moves.
Oh, all right. I'm going to take this one
Yeah. Yeah. It's all
and
yours.
and activate the fourth and all the independents, and let's see if I can figure out how to do this now. All right. So, now where's the rules for that? Now let's see the culmination. Let's see if whatever I figured out I thought might be an amazing
Thought you had a
idea.
cunning plan at some point.
See if it has anything to do with it. So, oops, that's not. Where is okay? So I don't want that. I want the rules. Yeah, I want those
Rules. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Just checking the rules.
rules. Okay, let me just figure out how. Okay, so what I'm doing with these skirmishers is I'm reforming them into their parent organizations.
Oh boy!
Oh.
Now that is going to involve digging out some rules, if memory serves. What it has to be before anybody's moved. Remember that. What else is there to it?
Yeah, let's see. That's in where was that? Was under 40. Close. No, that's under. There was some place in the whole thing that we're doing that. Uh, Is it under stacking? Nope. Nope, that's splitting. Guess I should have looked this up before I logged in today, huh?
Oh, whatever. It's like is it? Where is it?
Well,
Unit breakdown and reform. Okay, 13 and
Okay.
14.
Okay. All right.
All right, so and I think
8.5.
it's 8.5C because they're skirmishers right now and uniform.
Use the same requirement for regular reform. 8.5b, except that point 4 does not apply because the components can only be in skirmish formation. The following is substituted for point 3. All skirmisher units must begin the movement segment adjacent to a common hex which is unoccupied by any unit other than the one of the reforming skirmisher units. The common hex cannot be in a EOC, must be a train type allowable for line of march or march column formation, and with a legal strength point hex per hex stacking limit for the reformed parent unit. Use the same procedure for regular reform, and if successful, all the component skirmishers units are removed and the parent unit is placed in the common hex with the SP value equal to the component SP total. The reformed parent unit can be in line or march column and can have any facing. A failed attempt is treated like a failed reform.
All right. I think I believe that made sense, or at least it made sense to me once, and I'll just
All
hope
right,
that it still is.
so what's the failed attempt? Okay, I have to.
So roll 2 dice, designating one as the tens and the other as the ones for the component unit. Roll one roll total, not one for each unit. That is, for each little sub battalion. If the
Yeah.
result is equal to or greater than the worst effectiveness rating of all the units involved, remove the component units and place the parent unit in the hex. The parent's SP value must equal the total, yes.
Yeah.
If the attempt fails, there is no effect other than reform attempt cannot be made in this movement segment. So you basically are just rolling to see if they can get themselves organized. Basically, you think about it, they're all scattered higgly-piggly over a course of, 200 some odd yards, and
Right.
somebody's blowing a horn trying to get them to come and gather.
All right.
Yeah.
So we will try and attempt to form this one and this one first.
Into which hex?
Um, Probably doesn't really matter, but I will say it's going to be. Um, well, let's see. Does it matter? Yeah, I could do.
Well, they have to reform into a hex that's adjacent to both of them, correct?
Yes, and it has to be not in an EZOG.
Correct.
So there's really only 3 legal hexes.
Yeah, I think I'll do reform into that one right there.
All right.
And say boom. Oh yeah, that's gonna go. And which one were they? They were the. Well, that was the.
Second light.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of the people watching the Super Bowl had about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
They probably had a lot of lights. I was at an archery tournament earlier today, and somebody was going on about they were going to go to a local brewery and pick up a beer that had a 26% alcohol rating or something.
26.
Yeah, I'm like,
No,
that's not really a beer.
that's not really a beer.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking, but no.
Yeah.
All right. That one. All right. So these two. Okay. Let me pull those guys off. All right. Next time, these two.
Well.
Oh well. I can
Strictly
finish.
speaking,
So
it's
they
time to
have
move
to be
them.
stacked in the same hex, right?
Oh,
Oh,
What?
exception C.
actually,
No,
I should
sorry.
have done
Sorry,
orders
no,
first,
sorry.
right?
I was looking at the wrong thing. That's the thing that got replaced.
I should have done disorders first here.
Yeah.
And
Was
then
there? Where's the
yeah,
disorder?
I've got a disorder here.
Oh, so you do. Well, just take it off because there's a leader there. So
Yeah. That. That. Is there any others in the fourth? I don't think so. Boom. Boom. Uh, and he's not. Okay. All right. Let's. Okay. So now I'm starting with that movement of that guy there, whatever. So,
Mhm.
and Neil will finish his movement of going right there. All right. This guy here. Roll 2 die. I'm going to form into this square right there.
All right.
And we will. All right. I'm drawing a blank. Do all my movement first before we do any combat, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, do I have to finish my whatever?
No, 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 no.
All right. So, boom. Okay. He's fine too. And he is going to be this guy. Put those on. And he's going to move there. All right. I'm just going to go here. Oops. 1.5. 2.5. And he will have to do a disorder check.
Oh, he's happy. All right.
All right. I'm just counting things out here. Let's see what we got. All right. Let's take that one to there. Take that one to there. I can move the skirmisher and then out in okay, because I can't if I change formation in the woods, that takes my whole movement point, right? So
I
It's
don't.
an
I don't
inch,
know.
but that's not. I mean, as I was just reading the rules about reforming, and I was trying to figure out, is it I mean, is it a formation change? Because this isn't using any movement points.
That's true.
So
But
I'm having a hard time believing that it's a formation change.
going from skirmish to
Well, no,
yeah,
and I
it's a
understand that.
reforming
I mean,
unit.
you're right. It's a little like a formation change. Certainly, you change formations because you're going from skirmish to something that can't be skirmish, because now there's too many units in the hex together. Um, but I'm really having a hard time seeing anywhere where it describes it as being a formation change, and there's not any movement point cost. So it doesn't feel very much like a formation change to me, even though that is the net result of it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, it's not in 8.4, for example, under changing formation, which is, you know, which it could have been if we wanted to think of it as if that was what it was. And then if we look, uh, if a unit makes any of the formation changes marked by an asterisk in sections 8.4 and 8.6, but again, uh, it's not in 8.4 or 8.6. It's described in 8.5. So again, doesn't really seem
No,
like
but
one.
8.4H says skirmisher changes. Skirmisher capable can change formation from skirmish to other single hex formation that is legit for that unit type. The new formation is facing any direction. Skirmish capable units can change to skirmish from any single. All right, but you're not. You're actually going from skirmish to whatever in the course of reforming, I guess.
Right. I mean, it's true that
It
a
says formation
formation,
change cost 1 movement point under 8.4H. It says it
right,
costs
but
1 movement point.
Yeah.
exactly, but clearly it also explicitly says that that's not the case when you do reform.
So if what it's saying is if I change formation right of just this unit in from here from skirmish to a non-skirmish formation, then that's 1 movement point. And in the case of being in the woods, that would also be the only thing I could do there.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so it says there is no movement cost to
No,
reform.
no, because yes, you're absolutely correct. But if you look in 8.7, it says if you make any of the formation changes marked by an asterisk in 8.4 or 8.6, well, 8.4H isn't marked with an asterisk.
Yeah.
8.4C is. 8.4D is. 8.4B is, right? But
Yeah.
skirmishers aren't.
Yeah. So no, you can. There's.
So I would say that there's nothing distinct about the fact you're doing it in the trees.
Yeah. You're just
based upon
reforming.
your
Okay.
narrow
Well,
reading of the rules.
Yeah.
let's roll and see if I can reform.
Those are our favorite kind of reading of
Yeah.
the rules. Narrow.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I've got my black robe on.
Ah, there you go.
All right. So we can get rid of these and we reform them into here's fine. And we reform them into line there. 1, 2. And let's move these two, this stack, into, and they're already in line. Or what? Okay, that's the officer. Line him up with his people there. All right. let's see what else I want to do here. Let's go. To all right. Actually, I think. Oh, is this artillery back here the fourth? Yes, he is the fourth, so he can go. Right. He can, since he's all in road, he can go the full 8, right?
Yeah, yeah, because he doesn't have to worry about the disorder check for going more than half, and he's on a road, so it's half per movement point, so it's
Yep.
8. Yeah.
Okay, I think that is all movement. This, wait, these guys. Let's go over here. All right. Let's see. Let's also move. Do I want that? Where's my commander here? He's up there. But he doesn't have to be in. Okay, he has to be in range of how, right? This guy here when he activates. So I can move.
He's
I can move Cornwallis. He doesn't have to be in. Does he have to be in
he
range of
has to be
Cornwallis?
within. Cornwallis is the wing commander, so he's got to be within. He's got to be within the range of
What
Cornwallis.
what is the unit in question?
This one here. When he gets, he's not activating this, but when I'm just making sure he.
Oh yeah, third brigade needs to trace to Cornwallis, who would need to trace
How?
to Howe,
Well,
and without that, you can't place yourself in command.
We'll move Cornwallis there.
all right. I can tell you these Americans have got snipers. Just saying. Just saying.
Hey, where?
I'm gonna just check.
What are you checking? Weird.
I think you're boy. Yeah. Okay. I think you're all good. All right. Where are we?
All right, so
Is it close combat time?
I think that's next, right?
All right, you get to have fun.
Oh boy. So I'm going to initiate close combat with all units.
Mm.
So
All
we'll
right.
see who's going in. So we'll start at the bottom here. Boom. They're going.
They're happy.
Next one, the green one. Let's see what they do. Oh, they're happy. Grenadiers. They're happy. The other lights. They're happy. These guys from the 4th. They're happy. Next one from the 4th, the 8-4. They're not happy. And the last one from the 4th. They're happy. So the only one not going in is this one right there.
So what happens to them? Do they just not do anything at all?
Well, I
Or
mean,
do
they
they-
become shaken.
Shaken, okay.
That's why they don't go in, is because they became shaken. What value are they?
I mean, what's their
What's their effectiveness rating?
21.
21?
They're good. They get -10 for being supported line because they have non-routed units on both sides of them. So by the time you get that -10, even the +5 doesn't matter. 20 wasn't a low enough roll for those guys.
Okay.
They are going in. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. That's just more targets for Michael. That's the way he looks at it.
No, at least 2 of these units are going to rout away before they even get to do defensive fire, and probably 3.
Oh, really? Oh,
Sure.
they've got to make their morale checks first?
Well, yeah, where 2 of them are already shaken,
Oh, okay.
and they're going to rout and just disappear. So, which will just make the odds worse on everybody else. All right, so now that we've established who's going in, we do the individual attacker designations, and then you say, which order you're doing what in.
Okay.
I don't
Let's
I
see.
don't think you actually need to designate everybody. You just need to make sure that by the time you've finished, you've done everything that needs doing.
Right.
Because obviously you've got more hexes engaged than I do, so you have a little bit of latitude. And I'm just going to go check. Usually it doesn't matter, honestly, but in this case, it's actually probably worth taking a look that each close combat is designated by identifying specific attacking and defending units. Every enemy unit in an attacking unit's zone of control must be attacked. All combats are defined. Oh, all combats are defined before any are resolved. Okay, so actually you do need to define where you're overlapping, I guess.
Right. Okay. I mean, I'm trying to figure what's the. So.
Well, this guy's got a flank that's just wide open, my understanding, right?
Yep.
And this guy here can only attack this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy could hit him in the flank.
Yeah, but his mere presence in the flank is actually enough to be
to be
harmful.
disconsidered.
So you don't necessarily. I mean, there's still an effect.
Right.
But remember, the guy at the very end of the line
Has to fight
is
too.
already shaken, and he may vaporize.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, you kind of have to game all that out.
Right. And if I do both of those at the end against this one,
Mm-hmm.
only one of them has to move in, right?
Yes. Only one has to move in. That's right.
Let's see. Now, I'd be better.
It's fascinating. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it makes sense, actually, that you'd have to designate all combats defined before any are resolved. It does make sense. But here's what I'm kind of a scenario I'm coming up with here is that obviously if you've defined somebody as being engaged in a combat and then I just run away, then
Yeah.
you've got to move in. You don't have the luxury of being able to then use him in
Somewhere
a different
else.
way
Right.
in the exactly. So
Right.
it's just a little bit of, but it makes sense in real life. You'd probably be plotting this out. You wouldn't be, taking second by second opportunities to say, "Ooh, let's do this instead."
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all supposed to be simultaneous too. So
And
the
that's
idea
the
is
other
that,
aspect of it. Yes, exactly.
So I think the way I'm going to do this here is I'm going to do this one against here,
Mm-hmm.
these two against here,
Mm-hmm.
these two against here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can do that though. Can you attack more than one hex?
I'm not attacking more than one hex.
No, somebody's going to have to if you do it that way.
right, because you're running out of. So if you can go, this guy goes there, this guy goes there, this guy goes there, this guy goes here. Otherwise, you know, you
And by the way, I'm not 100% sure if there's a prohibition against it.
yeah.
I'm just saying that in some games it's not acceptable. So I'm wanting to double check.
Okay,
'Cause-
because I was going to designate this one to attack these two and this one to do that. But
Yeah, well, and maybe that's okay. I just think we ought to take a look.
okay.
Since we haven't
'Cause-
had anything this exciting,
Well, like I said, just too many rules, right? And in some games I've played, it's like, no, you can't attack more than one hex. But here may actually be the other way around because it's making it mandatory to attack every enemy unit in an attacking unit zone of control must be attacked. Okay, let's find 13.6.
so it's all units that are still designated to make a close combat attack must attack all enemy units in their ZOC that are not already being attacked by some other friendly unit.
Right.
Each attack must be clearly designated.
Right. In this case, the attacker must follow through the. Oh, yeah, right. Attacking units in different hexes may combine to attack a single defending hex as one close combat, provided there are no unattacked defenders in the attacker's ZOCs. The attacking stack that is adjacent to multiple defending hexes cannot be split to make separate close combats. All defending hexes must be attacked as one close combat. Okay, so that makes it quite clear.
Yeah.
So
It looks like he could do it, right?
it is allowed. It is allowed.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm sorry. So could now that we're clear on that, I'm sorry. Could you clarify again? So the top one is going to be 1-to-1. The next stack down is going to attack both of the stacks in front of it.
Oh, well, you're when you say okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I see. You're putting the marker there.
Well, I'm putting it here, right? But this is the idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then these
yes.
two guys are going to combine there
Yes.
and there.
And those two. Yeah, and those two are
Okay,
going
and
to
then these
combine
two
on
here,
these
and then
guys.
that guy there. Okay, good. Well, that's why
Yep.
they gave you the close combat markers, right?
Yeah, I guess it
Yeah,
is. I
that's
mean,
what-
it's pretty rare that they come in this handy. So okay, all right. So you get to determine the order.
I get to determine the order. So the first one, I'm actually going to do the one with these two against that one.
Interesting choice.
Well, if I do succeed there, then I also will have somebody on this one's flank, which will help that one out.
Will be quite irrelevant when I end up routing away in the first place, but as you wish.
So, all right. So what do we got here? Well, we need some tables, I guess, don't we?
So doesn't he have to make a morale check first?
Yeah, that is the very next
Yeah.
thing to do.
Thing too. Yep.
So this is
Let's
a morale
see.
check.
It's morale check B.
B.
It is pretty close combat. He's not disordered. He's not shaken. He hasn't got 50% SP losses. Plus
he's
10 for
outflanked.
outflanked, and that looks like the only one. So plus 10, plus 13, that's plus 23 minus whatever the leader offers. So that
4.
looks like plus
So
19.
plus 19.
So there we go.
Yep.
All
They're
right, so
happy.
they're ready to stand. So now let's take a look. So at that point, then we would go to defensive fire, and defensive fire is going to be. Is it 2 increments of artillery? No, it's 4 increments of artillery.
Yeah, there's a
Gadzooks.
full
Okay.
buttload.
So it's going to be 32 there, and it's going to be what 2 more increments can fire. So 2 infantry increments at another 4, so it's another 8. So it's 40 altogether. Does that sound right?
Okay.
All right. In order to shoot, oh no, they're not in hook. So actually,
You can only shoot at the guy that's in front of you, I guess.
yes, of course, because that guy's attacking somebody else. The other guy I could
Yeah.
shoot at is attacking somebody else, right? Okay, so I'll be shooting at him, and he's not a small target. He's in clear terrain, so it's 2 to 1, plus 20 because it's defensive fire. So far, so good.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
All right. And
41 becomes
whiffs.
61 at 2 to 1. Isn't that a defensive fire? That's a 1 DM.
Yep.
It's yeah, so it's a 1D, but there is no M because it's odd number.
Oh, okay. So it has to
So
be an even number for the M to count as well.
exactly. So 1 increment loss and a disorder check.
Unit increment loss. Where's that? Loss. There it is. Okay. All right. And a disorder check.
Oh, they're happy.
All right. Next step.
Okay. So
So now
we'll
it's
go
doing the odds,
to
right?
yeah. So what have you got there? You've got is it 10 and 10 now? Is it 20
Yep.
altogether?
Be 10 and 10. Yep.
Okay. And I think I got 9. No, 7.
So 2,
So
4,
it's-
6, 7. Yeah.
20 to 7.
So
So
where's
that's
the
going to be
Go on.
2 to 1. And then your modifier is it the average of the two?
Yes, each hex has a separate modifier. So, and then if you look at it, let's see, we've got no, none of that matters. So I think the only one that I see that matters is enfilade. So turns out that both of them are going to be a +5 because one of them is a +5.
Right.
Just printed value. The other one is +2, but he's enfilading, so he's getting a +3. So basically, they're both +5, which makes it just +5. Just as simple as that. And then my fellas are +3 and another +1, so it's +4, and that's it.
Does the -3 inflate apply to you, or that's only if you had somebody on your flank that wasn't actually attacking you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's effectively what they call a passive
Okay.
enfilade.
Okay.
It's and the difference is that it is um, yeah, I mean, there's a benefit to being the guy doing the enfilading if you're
Right.
attacking. That makes sense, right? And there's a disadvantage if somebody's got somebody in their flank, even if they're not attacking. So then
Right.
it's taken away from the defender instead of given to the attacker.
Sure.
Analysis shows too many variables.
The net, of course, is kind of the same thing. So I think it's 2 to 1 plus 1, I think is all I got there.
You only got a plus. I only get a +1 out of that. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to talk
Yeah.
it. Happy to talk it over.
I believe you. You know that.
I mean,
Yours
Well,
are +3.
if he passed his, if he'd failed his check, then he would
Right.
have been shaken, and it would have been a different story, right? But
looking for.
well, just go ahead and roll well. No zeros.
No zero. 91 would be nice. But
67. So that's going to be a 7
That's
and
gonna be
7. That's
even.
going to be a 0. So at 2 to 1, it looks like a 0 is an M&M. So
It is an M&M. It's the very edge of the M&M zone. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the attackers have to roll first in this case, one stack at a time. And I think because it is a type G morale check, I think the only things that count are losses, disorder, and shaken. And then, of course, army morale and
Right.
and stuff like that. So in this case, I think the only thing that counts is just +5 for the army morale.
all right. So I'll do this guy first.
Right.
Ooh, that didn't make it.
Okay, so
So he's shaken, right?
He routes.
He routes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the result of failing an M, a type G morale check.
Well, it says lose 1 strength point en route. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or-
Yes.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay.
Lose 1 strength point and route.
All right. Increment loss. And that's back.
Keep 'em upside.
How many?
4.
4. You can put him in Webster's house.
I'm sure Nan Webster would be really happy to see you.
Going to be bandaging British soldiers up there.
Actually, they're Hessian Jaegers.
Oh, even better. They speak German.
I'm sure Nan Webster would be thrilled to see him.
All right.
All
And
right.
the next one.
All right.
And they're fine.
He's happier. All right, fair enough. Now the defender has to roll. In this case, the defender is, again, not half dead, not shaken, not disordered. So none of that matters. So just the +13 -4, so +9 total. And that will certainly not be enough because these guys are 27, so that is definitely not going to be enough. So they lose an increment en route as well.
And what happens to the artillery?
Vaporize.
Oh, okay. Well, we've captured some more American guns. We've liberated, taken them from the rebels.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll probably just do that. probably a lot less painful. No, god dang it. Let's try again, this time with feeling. Thank you. That's what I meant the whole time. Alrighty. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so then you gotta move in. You won't be in an enemy zone of control, so if you want to, you can change facing. But you're not required to.
I like that facing.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Alrighty. What's next?
All right, we'll do the bottom one now.
So that's going to be
Your defensive
plus
fire.
10 for shaken, plus 13 for army morale. So it's plus 23 minus whatever the commander gives. We'll just roll and see what happens. No, there's no way that's going to be bad enough.
It's going to be a...
Yeah, because 24 plus 23 is only 47. Even if the commander was a 0, it wouldn't make any difference.
Right.
So they stand. So now they would conduct defensive fire, 6 increments times 4, 24. So 1 to 1 rather. No target manipulation size. So basically just 1 to 1.
With a plus 20.
Plus 20 because it's defensive fire. Whites of their eyes and all that.
Exactly.
And there we go.
49 at 1 to 1. That's
Big
that's
nothing.
Missing. Yeah.
Okay, so at this point,
one more, it would have been a disorder check, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's 1 to 1 because it's 11 to 8, and it is. Let's see. I've got a value of plus 3, a printed value. Add the leader, that's plus 4, so it's minus 1 once you take away the shaken effect, and it's another minus 3, so it's a total of minus 4 altogether when you take in the enfilade effect. So you are plus 4 and I am minus 4, so it is 1 to 1 plus 8.
All right. Bam. And it's a special result.
That is how you know you're playing bar.
Welcome to my world, where something, you got a big fat plus, it's all going to be lovely, and then it just goes sideways.
It's 2, he does 3 and gets okay,
yeah, so I take 3 losses.
You got to check for an officer, right?
The asterisks, yeah, roll for the leader. There's a leader there. Yeah, there was a leader there.
Okay. And then we'll roll for the leader.
A 5.
He's all right.
No effect. He dodged the bullet with a bayonet.
Or what have you. And okay, so that is that. So now we go to round 2. You have
don't
9
they make morale checks? Because it says
sorry.
2M and
yes,
3M,
of course you do.
so
Yes,
both sides
yes.
make a morale check, right?
No, absolutely, yeah. No, there's a morale check. I will undoubtedly need to do mine first for a variety of reasons, mostly because it's the higher effectiveness value.
Rank all stacks by ER using morale check G modifiers.
Exactly. So 24
from worst to best.
Becomes 20 with the leader, becomes 30 with shaken, becomes 43 with the army morale. All right. So he takes another. Oh no, he doesn't take another increment loss. Yes, he does. Okay. So he takes another increment loss. And routes. All right. And then you don't need to do your morale check because I disappeared. And so then you can advance into, well, you have to advance into the hex, and you can change facing if it suits you.
And I can change facing. Let's see what's down here. Okay, that's routed. That's yeah, let's change to there. All right. Okay. Now we'll do this one here. So
Just a minute.
This is a morale check B. They're not shaken, not routed, not disordered. Army morale level would add something. Outflanked. So do they count as being outflanked?
Sure they are.
Okay.
That's why you set it up to roll up the other guy, so
Okay.
that one after the next, after the next, after the next, everybody ends up being outflanked. I mean,
So
that's kinda
even
your call.
though he's not facing your flank, he's
Yeah, and I was actually just double checking that because for some reason I had kind of a passive enfilade occurs when a unit, defender, or attacker is enfiladed by an enemy unit not participating in the combat, maybe participating in another combat or no combat at all. A unit suffering a passive enfilade modifies its CV by -3 for the first round of combat only, regardless of how many of its flank or rear hexes are occupied. I'm really struggling because somewhere I had this niggling recollection of
I think I know what you're thinking of, and
I'm trying to remember where that.
Well, what I'm thinking is it's like if they lose and have to retreat, it's not like it's an extra Zoc they got to go through or something. Is that what we're thinking of, or?
I'm having some sort of recollection of it somehow being different if somebody had penetrated your line but was facing to your rear. In other words,
Right.
instead of facing to the left or to the right, therefore facing into the flank. And yet I don't see anything here under enfilade that talks about that.
it's under 19.8 morale check general modifiers, and outflanked is defined if there is a non-routed enemy unit in any of the checking unit's flank or rear hexes, apply a single +10 ER modifier regardless of the number of units. The enemy unit does not need to be performing the action that causes morale check. It just needs to be present. Doesn't say anything about a zone of control or anything.
No. I mean, yes, I don't have a problem with that. I'm trying to figure out where I had this idea that it mattered whether they were facing you or not.
I vaguely, because we went through that. We went through that before,
Chatuzids, right?
Yeah, in Chatuzids. Yeah, not here in Brandywine, because we've never had that occasion happen.
So I'm trying to figure it out. So if it's not under enfilade, and if it's not under outflanked, then I'm at a loss to figure out what it is that we were thinking made it matter because I don't think I get it.
Did pass?
Unit A is attacking Unit Z. Unit B is not part of the combat. Unit Z is in Unit B's zone of control, and B also occupies Z's flank hex. Unit Z suffers a -3 passive enfilade modifier. If Unit B were facing hexes C or D, the modifier would not apply
Oh, is
because
that
B would
okay?
not be inflating. Well, that is really odd because, boy, I tell you what, the example makes it very clear. I don't think the rule makes it very clear.
Right. Okay.
Where
so
did you find that?
to-
I'm
get-
on page 29,
Page 29. Okay.
near the bottom of the left column, looking under passive enfilade. Okay, and here's the reason why it wasn't obvious. Because if you go up to just above halfway down the column to number 5, enfilade, an enfilade occurs when a unit is in the flank or rear hex of an enemy unit and the enemy unit is in its zone of control.
Right.
So in other words, under passive, it doesn't re-explain that you have to be in the zone of control because he already said an enfilade occurred, which I
Right.
just defined up above.
Right.
So, okay. So I haven't lost my mind, or
Right.
at least
Okay,
this
so
isn't
it's-
evidence of it.
It's the passive one that. So in that case, I would have actually turned the unit. that-
Yes. Yeah, well, but here's the interesting part about it. Because when you moved in with that first unit, you didn't know what the second combat was going to result in.
Right, because you used the enfilade against his unit
True.
that was just
I
right
wasn't
here.
gonna,
Yeah.
and actually, I wasn't going to actually anyway. So
Yeah. All right. Well,
So-
cool. We got that one solved, and we've learned something new along the way. So you were right thinking, and I was right trying to remember that it did make some impact which way you were.
Yeah,
facing.
well, it was harder than I expected to find the result. Okay,
Woohoo.
so I'm sorry. So
Hector, you're
what did
morale.
we end up? What did we end up deciding? Everything.
So you make your
everything's
morale
fair?
check. You make a morale check,
Okay, we're at morale check. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
and then you get to
Yeah.
shoot at him.
And it's plus 10 plus
Plus
23.
23. Okay.
That should be good.
All right.
And to
And
shoot at me.
We
We
got
got-
6 increments, and those are what are they? Line or militia?
oh, their line.
Okay. How do you tell the difference?
The
Yeah, we're only-
truth is, if you really want to know,
Okay.
you look on the loss chart.
Right.
If like literally when all else fails,
Okay.
look on the loss chart, and every unit has its type listed next to it. And since this is units from the
Oh.
North Carolina Brigade, every one of them's marked as line. Now, truth be told, if I flip them all over, what does it say there? Doesn't say anything. Probably, if it were anything other than a very generic thing, it would probably say so. That is to
Alright.
say, it would probably say militia if they were militia.
Right. So
Um,
Armstrong's
kinda like,
brigade.
um,
Armstrong's brigade is militia, and yeah, those are the only ones that have a MIL next to them. All the others are listed as infantry.
Yeah, line. Yes, you're quite
Yeah.
quite right.
I mean,
And
I'm
then
looking at
there's
the loss chart that's in the Vassal module. So
yeah, well then there's Armstrong's wing who are marked as militia, and then there's Alexander's command, which are all light infantry.
right, there's
They're
some
marked as light.
infantry.
Yeah. So I
That's
think
nice.
I think it's generally correct that the name of the unit will usually tell you if it's anything other than the most standard boring thing.
Right.
Like his Jaegers that just routed away, for example. Well, marked as Jaegers. I mean, that's
Yeah,
said it just like that. Grenadiers are always going to tell you they're Grenadiers. So I don't know. It's usually going to be pretty clear. But line infantry, so 6 increments can fire times 4, 24, 1 to 1.
Pick a stack.
Sorry?
Pick a stack.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll go for the this one up here because it's probably got a a slightly worse effectiveness rating. So just try to knock them down. So let's see. That's going to be 1 to 1. It's going to be plus 20 and no size modifier.
Be something.
So is that a
1 to
65
1,
becomes an 85?
Yep.
So at 1 to 1, that's going to be a 1D.
Yep.
All right. So top unit. It could increment. And a disorder check. Boom. They're fine.
All right. So it is
22
22 to 8.
That's going to be
2 to 1.
Yep. They don't have a 2.5 to 1.
Yeah, there is on the fire table. I always have to think about it because
Yeah.
they're different. But yeah, it is just 2 to 1. All right. Let's see. You've got one stack that's plus 5, and you've got another stack that's plus 4. So that rounds to 5. And my stack is 3. And I think we just discussed that there is no passive enfilade in this case. So it is
2 to 1.
2 to 1
Plus
plus 2. Yep, 2 to 1 plus 2.
All right. Boom. Let's see if we can. And we got another special result. What's the odds of all these things coming out? So
this is a 2M2M. Everyone's got to check for leaders.
Didn't we decide that it was 19%?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's we're
That's
getting
the
way
odds.
more than that's the odds.
Yeah, there's a 20% chance if you want to put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
The
it was
attackers
a
lose
6.
2,
I'm sorry.
defenders
So 2
lose
2.
2.
All right, very good.
And
All right, and I
leaders-
think that just means
I
leaders
get to
everywhere.
distribute these, right?
Yeah, you should balance them between the 2 stacks, right?
yes. Yes. Strength point losses as evenly as possible among the participating non-artillery units, starting with the largest SP unit involved. If several units are eligible to take a single SP loss, the owning player selects the unit.
I was
So-
going by largest. I put them on.
Yeah, so basically everybody would have 1 now,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. All right. And so then, curiously enough, that means that
I think I have to do officer checks on both of them, right?
I
It says
don't
for
know. We need to look.
leaders, so it says rolls
Oh,
for
yeah.
leader lost for all leaders who gave a CV bonus to the units.
Yeah. So yes. In other words.
All right. So first, I'm going to do my leader on here. And
Maybe I
Right.
just make it bigger.
what do I want to roll? High or
You
low?
want to roll.
wanna roll
a
high.
4 or better.
Okay, so we want good old 9s, right?
Ooh, a 3. He's dead.
So that's
I
this
told
guy.
you these Americans.
all
That
right.
was Agnew, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so he gonna be dead. Da-da-da-da. And, well, I'll find a place for him in a minute. Yep. And let's see if I can do better with Cornwallis. No, I don't.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness!
God! You killed Cornwallis as well.
Oh, oh my
Oh
goodness!
my gosh!
What a fiasco!
So
Oh my!
wow, that is painful.
Oh, and I don't have a leader. I'm sorry. I thought I had a leader too. I was about to roll for my own
Yep.
leader
Oh,
loss.
you don't have one.
Okay.
Here, let me see where. I'll put these over here. No.
Yeah, I've already marked on the loss chart. So Agnew was 5 points, and Cornwallis was 10. So
Yeah.
that's 15 points.
Oh
That's
man.
puts us up onto another loss level.
I mean, that's like putting.
Yeah.
That's like putting Napoleon up there because you want to get his.
We're not going to get to another loss level because there is no more.
Yeah. No, but doesn't it
Level.
count for victory points, right?
No.
I don't know that.
No.
I don't.
Well, we can
Actually, in
look it
this
up
one,
when
no,
we
it
get
doesn't.
there. Yeah.
Well, we definitely should look because obviously there were other things we didn't read carefully enough. I think the other thing to bear in mind is that we could still roll a double aught,
That's true.
That's true.
and I mean, given that we're
Yep.
playing with the Army morale rules, double aught would give us another Army morale check. So yeah.
All right. So now we do morale
Okay,
checks.
now
and you
yeah, now we order the morale checks, and these are morale check type G, right? Yep, right. And so the only things that matter are shaken, disordered, and half dead, and leaders and army morale. Okay, so that means that my guys are 28 plus 13. So what's that going to be? 41. And your guys are going to be less than that for sure. Because you shouldn't have, well, you just got the plus fives, right? Right, so I definitely go first at 41. So I'll go ahead and roll.
And which one is this? A morale check what?
It's a morale
It's
check
morale check.
G
Morale check G, but it's just suddenly became irrelevant to you.
because he rolled a runaway. Runaway. Well, Cornwallis will not be Viceroy of India at this stage. And someone else will be surrendering to George Washington.
Right. One of those, yeah, that's a good point. One of those, stacks needs to advance in
Right.
and probably wants to be careful to change facing.
Yeah, that's what I think I will do.
Yeah, I'm thinking there was a game of Fontenoy at Consim World in Tempe, and they had just declared the infernal column, and there's a bunch of special rules about the infernal column, and
Right.
in go the British right into the French, and yeah, it immediately, like, Cumberland gets killed that turn. And I don't remember exactly the scenario. It was one of those things where it was a 1 in 1,000 chance, you know. It had
Yeah.
to be a particular set of dice and then roll a particular thing. And I mean, I don't even know what game I'm playing. I'm halfway across the ballroom, and I heard it. There's like four guys at the table going, ah! So, all right. So then we move along. Where's the next one?
This
Right,
is the
so
this is
now
the
we're-
double attack, right?
This is the double attack. So you'll need to do morale checks on here and here.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. Alrighty. So let's see. So this one here is going to be plus 23 minus whatever Steven offers. Yes, I think that's right. All right. Well, don't need to
He's
check Steven
happy.
in that case, so they're okay. And this one here is going to be a lot worse. Oh no, it isn't actually.
It's the same
No,
thing.
yeah, actually,
Plus 23, right?
no, not at all. Because in fact,
He's only shaken.
he's in a supported line.
Oh, so he's happy.
So that effectively takes the shakenness away from him because they both happen to be tens.
Okay.
So he's literally just at plus 13. I'm not really giving credit to that. Plus 13.
Oh, and
Okay.
he's good.
So, all right. However, he will have the effect of dragging down the combat because I have to average the two stacks.
We'll see if there's going to be a combat still. You're going to fire on me here, so.
I mean, in some sense, it might have actually served me perfectly well for him to run away. That would have actually perhaps improved the ability to win the fight. I mean, it's true, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So we've got 6 increments there. We got 3 increments there. So there's 9 increments all day. The 9 increments times 4, that's 36. 36 now, that's 1.5 to 1. And 1.5 to 1 plus 20. No. I think there might be a -5 though. Yeah, because he's only 8 increments in size, so it's -5. So it's 1.5 to 1 plus 15.
There you go. Oh, that's a big roll.
Well, it sure
It's
is.
gonna
Yeah,
be,
1.5 to 1 plus
105.
15, so it's 104. Okay, so it's holy shit! Yes, that
So
is a
that
lot.
is, wow, that's 3 dead.
3
A
D
D and an M with a plus
plus
20.
10.
Oh, plus
Plus 10.
10. Yeah, you're right. I'm looking
Plus
at that.
10.
Wow, that's painful. Hey, that's welcome to my world, David.
Yeah.
He was doing that to me all day long. He could have,
Yeah,
two
yeah, there was a lot of that
guys
going
on crutches, and they somehow magically managed.
Well, they weren't crutches. They were Browning automatic rifles. You just thought they were crutches. Just when they picked it up and started firing,
Yeah.
you went, "Oh, that's not a
Like,
crutch.
oh my gosh!
That's not a moon." Okay.
It wasn't half, so. Still done
Um,
we got a disorder check.
And a morale check with a plus.
And
10.
Right.
morale check.
Yeah, so the
Okay,
disorder
so
check
disorder
comes
check.
first.
He's
No
happy.
problem there. And then the morale check, and then he's
Yeah,
fine
that's
there
fine,
too. Okay, well, that was certainly a little bit of
Bloody
lightness
nose.
there.
There you go.
Mhm.
Definitely waiting for the whites of their eyes on that one.
Seems so. All right, so what do we got? You've got 5 increments remaining,
5 increments remaining.
and
We've
I've got
8.
8, 9, 10, 11 increments. Is
Well,
that
now,
right?
but you're shaken. Does that count for less, or
Yeah, because it's going to reduce my
Me.
combat
your combat
value.
value?
by
Oh, okay.
5.
But if you were
But
disordered,
it
that
doesn't
would.
change the-
Okay.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Okay.
Disorder would reduce his actual printed
Fighting
strength
capacity.
points.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I mixed it
exactly.
up.
Yep. So, all right. Well, then I'm gonna. So I'm sorry. So what did we say? 5 to 11.
5 to 11.
So that's 1 to 3.
1 to
Yep.
3. You're kind of odds.
3. I'm
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Now
And
let's
then if
do
I
our
flip
numbers
all these
here.
guys over, right? So what do we got here? That
3.
stack is 3,
And that stack is 3.
but then he's
But you got a
enfiladed,
minus,
so in fact he's 0.
right?
And this guy over here is 3, but he's shaken,
which is
so he's
minus
-2.
5. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Right,
becomes
right.
-2. So effectively, I've got a stack that's 0 and another stack that's -2. So it's -1 is my total number.
and I'm 3.
3. So it's +4. So it's 1 to 3 plus 4.
Plus 4.
Of course, I'm gonna throw another 0, and we'll see what happens here.
Oh,
All
35.
right.
So
Plus
that's
2 is
is the
1 to
net
3
result
plus
is plus 2?
Yeah.
So
I lose 1 in route, and he disorders.
disorders. Okay.
All right, so lose 1 and route.
Well, that poor guy got kicked in the teeth.
Yeah, that was a pretty harsh little bit of reality there for him.
And my last one here. So
And,
he's
okay.
supported. Probably not going to go well, but hey.
Yeah, okay, right, yes, okay. So he is, he's in a supported line, so he's plus 13 for Army morale, minus 10, so it's plus 3 altogether. He'll probably run. No, he
No.
won't. All right, never mind. All right, so then
Fire.
we'll go ahead and fire. We'll fire with, let's see, there's 4 increments times 8, that's 32, plus 2 more increments times 4, so it's 40 all day, so it's
2 to 1
to
with
1.
a
2
plus
to 1,
20.
plus 15 again for size.
Oh, okay.
So 2 to 1 plus 15. We'll see how this one goes.
Ugh.
Oh boy, that's
And
another
another
big
one.
shot.
Yeah.
That's another
Yep,
big
so
shot.
that's over 100, right?
Yeah, it's 103, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's 3 dead,
Another
a
3 DM.
disorder, and another morale check with a plus 10.
Yeah, because it's an even number.
Yeah.
Wow.
I tell you, this is how Michael gets his revenge on us.
Well, I don't know that you should get too worried about it, because I mean he's got all these troops that have just blown my entire left flank away. So these guys may have
All
chased
right.
off the guys in
So
front
the
of them.
disorder check and the morale check
Morale
both
check.
passed. All
Yeah,
right.
so
you've
now
got
we're
4 to 4.
left.
Oh, actually, does the guns
0.
count as 1?
No. The guns don't count at all
Oh.
unless they're standing alone, in which case they're worth 1 strength point.
Okay, so you've got a 4 to 1, I guess, on the.
Excuse me?
He's got 4
Where's
increments
my-
left, right? And you've
Yeah.
got 1 increment. Is that how that counts?
I got 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got infantry there. Oh, okay.
So it's 1 to 3 again.
Yeah.
1 to 3 again. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, 1 to 3, and
He's
I'm a plus 3.
And
Yeah, I'm a
you're
plus
a
3.
yeah. There's no leaders.
Okay. So there's no enfilade. There's I think it's just 1 to 3
And
straight up then.
Oh,
Oh, was that what you
16.
just rolled?
So that's a
what I
minus
just
5.
rolled.
Ouch.
So I lose 3 en route. So I got 1
Holy
increment left.
smokes.
And he's disordered.
I wanted this guy. I wanted him to route underneath Cornwallis there. Why
Oh,
did you
I'm
put him
sorry. Because his hit marker was over
Cornwallis
here.
on? Yeah.
So
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That one.
wow, those guys just got
So-
completely smashed.
So this is exactly why what I was mentioning last week about Paul Borscher saying that, it seems to him that bar players are pretty cavalier about just charging. And yet close combat is so wild
Right.
that he wonders, I wonder if real commanders would be quite that cavalier about it, considering how insane the results are. And yeah, this turn is an excellent example
Yeah.
of both what can go really well and what can be a total disaster. And in this case, if you think about it, every one of his stacks went in. And considering, well, you had 7 stacks,
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah.
1, 2,
So-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes.
Yeah.
Or no.
So-
6. Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5.
All 7
Oh,
went
was
in.
it just? Everybody went in. Well, I mean, to be fair, they weren't bloodied, but still, it would have been perfectly reasonable to expect some of them not go in, right? But they
Yeah.
all go in. Some of them are smashingly successful. Others completely shredded.
Yeah.
And that's close combat for you, right there.
Well, given the lateness of the hour, we couldn't have just sat there and blasted you with artillery. We spent hours just trying to even get on the
Absolutely.
field. Yeah. So
Oh no, absolutely. And I'm not even saying it's the wrong thing to do. I'm just saying that this is an excellent example of what you need to be aware of
Right.
before you do it.
Yeah.
Because this is the kind of result that's perfectly reasonable to expect. I've seen both sides, take turns with people routing away. So both lines end up looking like Swiss cheese. It's just like, now in this case, all the good stuff happened at one end, all the bad stuff happened at the other end. But I've definitely, like, at Chatuzits, seen both of them look like, kids who are in the age where they're losing teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Each of their lines just got gaps in them.
Well, I'm
So
I'm glad. So now Hal will not be complaining about von Niephausen so much. He'll complain about Cornwallis, but Cornwallis is dead. So
he'll definitely be complaining
yeah,
about Cornwallis.
yeah.
'Cause,
The reports written back about Cornwallis will be particularly scathing.
jackass went off and got killed. Yeah, he's definitely taking the blame for the
Yeah.
whole thing
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, well, so
Wow.
I think that's it for.
You could flip leaders over, but they're all dead. So
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, that's a really good point. Can't really
Yep.
do that now. Okay, well then, I guess arguably we'd put finished markers on all the independent units, but I think we know perfectly well that they all just did something because
Yeah.
we remember.
And actually, I think this guy should have probably routed back in this direction over here.
Yeah, I think the only problem is, didn't he have somebody northwest of him?
No, everybody was in the line at that point.
No, he
No, but-
was the other fellow who was adjacent to
Well, I
him.
mean,
Yeah.
okay, but he
Right.
still
So
would have
he was
gone.
here and the other guy was here.
He would have gone boom.
So he
boom.
probably would have ended up
Yeah.
there instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in. Which makes a little more sense. But
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess, I hate to say it, boys, but it's 9:30 and we've just finished one activation.
Piece of cake. No
No
problem.
problem.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
your
going to
turn
be
to
the hard.
roll there.
Definitely the
was
hardest.
okay. Here we
activation.
go. A 6-0.
Ooh,
Oh boy.
That's
Here
all
we
right.
go again.
British get to attack all over again. All dead leaders are resurrected. Oh no! It says special rally. Pick a command and perform a free disorder recover or rally phase. Well, that sounds like the fourth.
Disorder
Needs to
recovery
rally, right?
and rally phase. Well, yeah, maybe. Where's the 62E? I'm wondering. Actually, this is something that's never occurred to me before, since there is no leader. Pick any one command and perform a disorder recovery segment and a rally phase for all the units of the command that are within command range of their leader. None of them are. I don't think you can pick the fourth.
Shocking.
Until the next time they activate, they don't have a leader.
Well, then I've got somebody down here I could roll for at least, right?
Go
I
for
got
it.
this
Yeah.
guy down here that's shaken. Anybody else who's roughed up, abused?
Okay,
No,
now wait a
that's
minute.
Part of.
Hold on. I want to double check this. Because you've got guys from the first and second
Right.
there, which are now different units. So let's read carefully, because sometimes you can, if you're stacked with other units, they'll let you use them too. I'm just taking a look. Special rally. If units of the command are stacked with units of other commands, the event still applies and the whole stack receives the benefit. So, in other words, you could activate either the first or the second
Right.
in order to get the effect.
Okay. Well, I'll activate. I'll activate the second because at least they won't have the minus for being half dead. Right.
Oh, well, it's going to be the top unit anyway.
Oh, the
I mean,
top unit. Oh, okay.
The top unit has to do it, but,
Yeah, so
but
that
since the
doesn't
whole
matter.
stack gets the effect, so
Okay.
yeah, you're right. So it's going to be plus 15.
Okay. Here we go. Let's roll the dice. See if we get lucky. Nope. All right. Well, that was
No,
fun.
and really the only difference it made, really, which one you activated, is because you put the tile spacer on
Oh,
the
on that
one,
one.
because he can't, whichever command that is, can't get another one.
Another one. Okay.
So,
Gotta find the
go
handy
find
dandy
go find
tile
a
spacer
tile
now.
spacer. I think it's absolutely hysterical that somebody actually went to the trouble of putting a tile spacer on there and even telling you it's a tile spacer. You hover over the thing,
Yeah.
it tells you K-Tex marker. Hysterical. Okay, why don't you try rolling again?
All right, here we go. 67. That's going to be the Americans.
And yet again, we are burning up the clock. So now the Americans, I don't know what the Americans are planning on doing now, since this here is, well, since we're broadcasting, I won't tell you exactly what this is.
It is a
I have a color.
clusterful. A clusterful.
Well, that actually was very close to what I was going to say,
Yeah.
but what I was going to say was a colorful thing I say around the house here,
I
but which
see.
I will not say.
Cannot be
Here.
said. Yes, we don't want the gods of YouTube to frown upon our poor benighted channel here.
No, because I mean it's going to be bad stuff. It's bestiality. It's horrible. You won't like it. Okay, let's see. Where was I? I'm just trying to see who can do something useful before he gets killed. How's that for? How's that for
That's situation normal.
real? Yeah,
Snafu.
all
Our British attacks
barred
are
up.
mostly snafus here.
That's third. That's third. That's fourth. I guess I guess I'll activate the 4th Virginia. I mean, but he's not going to move, because if he moves, you're going to shoot at him. So I'm just like, so what's the difference? I'll just shoot later. Oh, hold on. This guy back here, he's got a shaken marker on him, but I expect
yeah.
that he had routed to that location, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Because he
Okay,
was
I just-
shaken at the beginning of the combat phase.
oh, yes. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
he was
you.
the guy
All
that
right.
was here at the tail end.
On
of
here.
line.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Righty. Boy. All right. Well, I guess the one that I will do right now, then, where I guess it makes a particle of difference what he does. Mostly just because, I mean, most of these guys I figure aren't even going to get to move, right? I mean, at the rate we're going. I guess I'll do the 3rd Pennsylvania. Just these guys back here. Just trying to think, is there anything I'm missing elsewhere?
Well, you got the 2nd Virginia.
Actually, well, the 3rd Virginia actually does make some sense, because this guy could become undisordered, which will make this guy's job less pleasant.
Right.
So actually, that one makes more sense, since there's actually still skin in the game there. All right, so that's 3rd Virginia, which is here, and here, and is that here too? Yeah, it is here. Okay, and that's probably all of them, or maybe there are some that are run away. So we will roll to undisorder there. They are, well, +5 because they're trying to roll for undisorder. And that is going to be not anything, because a rally roll doesn't ever give you a special result. It's not a rally, but a disorder. There are no special results when you're trying to do disorder recovery. That's what I was trying to say. So that's just a miss. And then this guy here can roll. And again, that's +5. And so now he is just back to shaken. Feeling so much better now. And let's see. What to do. All right, well, there's not much else to do except for these guys here at the corner can do some shooting. So we'll go ahead and do that. There are 6 increments that can fire. The 6 increments times 4, it's 24. You're in the trees, so I think it's 24 to 30, isn't it?
Well, but you're in a right hook, right?
Yeah,
So-
but he's in the 1 hex that I can hit
Oh, okay.
with full strength.
Oh,
So,
yeah, you're right. 100%.
So yeah, I can fire all 6 in that direction, and yet it's 15, I'm sure, in the woods. So it's going to be 1 to 1.5, and I don't know what size he is. Oh, he's quite small. So 1 to 1.5 minus 5. That's probably going to be nothing. Yes, it is nothing. All right. Well, then that was a chance to try to make things better, but not the success of actually making things better. And in terms of movement, I'm just trying to decide what possible point there would be to moving any of these guys.
Run away.
I mean, this is probably a complete waste of time, but I mean, I could just move them just like that, just so that when inevitably this guy gets scratched, then at least he's facing the right direction.
Right.
All right, and then I'm guessing that if there's anybody else left from that Virginia outfit, then they're probably run away, and so they don't matter. All right, so that's it. I'm going to flip the leader over, and it's David's turn.
All right.
Right. Roll the dice, David.
Another
that's
one?
The Americans again.
The Americans again. Okay. Okay. I guess I will go ahead and do the 3rd Pennsylvania this time, the one that I was threatening to do a minute ago. And let's see, who've we got in the 3rd Pennsylvania? We got this guy. And we got that guy. And we got this guy. All right. So I will, there's no disorder to recover from, so we don't need to worry about that. And who's parked right there? Okay. All right, so everyone's in command. Well, except, yeah, no, they really are in command because
Yeah.
George Washington's right there, for Christ's sake. So, yeah, everybody knows what they're doing. Everyone's totally down with what's going on here. Everything's just fine. And then I guess we'll just kind of move that guy there. And we'll back this guy up and hope that
Hope that Lafayette can be inspiring.
see, actually, I'm thinking that is not what I'm going to do there. I think I will rotate this hex, but I'm going to move the leader over to here, and Lafayette's going to get the hell out of here because I don't want to see what happened to Cornwallis happen to him.
What?
You know, he's got a French Revolution to worry about.
He does.
All right, so he moved 2, and that'll do for the moment, I guess. And then that's gonna be it, I think. So this guy's gonna be flipped, and that's it. So what else do we have? It's my roll.
Yep.
All right, so I will go ahead and roll.
Oh.
And we are rapidly burning the clock here.
Advances the clock and more.
It's actually
Americans.
a wing.
Yeah.
A wing if I care to. If I even can. What would I do if I had a wing activation? I would summon up a wing that I can't find right at the moment. That's what I would do. And very few of these units are actually worth activating. I mean, I don't think I'm quite desperate enough to activate the 2nd Pennsylvania down in the south, but I mean, I might.
The one single increment. Or
actually, no, there's 2 increments. There's 2.
Whopping.
They say whopping. 2
there you
increments.
Go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could go ahead and activate the 2nd Virginia. Yes, that's what I'll do. Fellas down here.
Yep.
And I don't think I'm going to get too cute with them, though. And in fact, I don't think there's any way they're going to get engaged in the battle. Because by the time they get through those trees at night, the battle will have moved away. So I'm trying to think what makes any sense to do with them at all. And yet, you know, theoretically, there's something they could do. I mean, I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to come marching across in road column, or I'm not in road column, but in march column. It doesn't make much sense to march across in march column. These guys are, you know, fully ready to go. So that seems like that would be kind of insane. And yet if I go into line right now, then it's really going to take me forever to get across these trees because I'd be moving 1 hex a turn.
Right.
And there's only 3 turns left. So I'm really having trouble figuring out what to do with this. Oh, screw it. I'll go ahead and do it just to do something. So no need for disorder checks. The guy's not in command, but it doesn't matter because it's not going to change anything because I can't do anything remarkable here. Anyway, I think going into line is probably the only rational thing to do. That's 2 movement points. I can't actually do any more than that because moving into the trees, it cost me 2 more, and it would cost me another 1 to go down the slope.
Right.
So that doesn't really get me anywhere. And then I will move that guy to the tune of 2.5, which means he'll have to roll for disorder. And he promptly does disorder. However, that means it's easier for this guy to know what to do, which is not to do what he did. And unfortunately, I guess I'll just do this. That's going to be 1, and that's going to be 2.
And that's what, the bramble?
Uh,
Yeah, that's bramble. So
Is
Mark's
it
telling me
bramble?
it's one to go there. So yeah, so that's the correct
I don't.
movement. So it's 2 points. So it's not woods.
Oh, I see. Oh, no, hold on. That's must go into general order. So no, that's a non-starter.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I say that. I mean, it means that next turn I'll leave general. Yeah, screw it. I'll go into general order. I don't care. But next turn I'll come out of general order up the slope. I don't care. So, all right, that's good. And then the artillery will, very helpfully follow along for like literally no purpose whatsoever. It cost him 1 to move there. It would have cost him 2 to move in there, and he can't get himself unlimbered. Well, I guess he could get himself unlimbered, and I'm not going to be moving very fast. So maybe he could. He could just go ahead and go in there. Except he'd roll for his order. Nah, screw it. All right, and we'll call it good. And there we go. All right, so it's over to you again now, Eric.
Okay, here we go. Ah, well, at least we got the
Oh,
initiative.
God dang it. Back up. There we go. I hit the wrong button. All right. So you get 1 more activation.
We're almost out of time, right?
Yeah, we're on the last box.
All right, David. Time for you to have some more fun. Can you do something?
And of course, David's reaction is, when did I have fun before?
William from our dear friend from Canada writes, the Chiefs were aided by a late penalty on the Eagles' defense. Referees in football can determine an outcome as decisively as rulebook writers can set the parameters of war game play. Well done, William. Well said.
I think it was just a case of Philadelphia rolled a 0, and there was a special result, and we had to go consult the table. And sorry, that looked like holding to me.
Yeah, special result indeed.
Got nothing for you here.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're rolling with a different die than we are, though. They probably have a 20-sided die or
maybe
something like
that.
All right. Do you know what you're going to do, David? You're going to attack.
Really?
Oh, well, why wouldn't you?
Well, I got about 300 dead British soldiers out there in the field. It gives me one good reason why I might not. The difficulty he's got is that for this guy to attack would be very difficult. I mean, he's going to be at pretty long odds. I mean, if this guy moved in there, then he's got to attack him.
Right.
And then he's left attacking alone here. So it's kind of like it would be great if this was, a Mark Simonich hex encounter game, and I could just move from one, move out of the Ezok and then move back into the next Ezok, and then I could attack, scooch everybody over 1 hex to the east, right? But it just doesn't work that way. So I don't know. On the other hand, these guys are disordered. These guys are pretty shot up. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you feel lucky?
Yeah, punk.
Normally I wouldn't, but because actually I'm to the point where I think this is going to be the last turn anyways, because I do not see a way for us to forward to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat here. Uh,
We're just going to have fun.
yeah.
Only
So,
electronic cardboard dies tonight.
Exactly. What's there
so
to worry
all
about?
right.
That's
So
been
disorder first.
our philosophy here the whole time.
hmm
There's a
Right. Disorder comes off automatically. And now what?
and let's do this.
So that's
That
1, 2, 3.
right, and he does a disorder
Actually,
check.
nope, hold on. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually,
Or that's still.
Oh,
And he
because
does
it
a
costs 2
disorder
to turn in the
check.
woods?
no,
No,
because it costs
he-
1 to turn in the woods, 2 to move into the woods, and 1 to enter an enemy zone of control, which I always
Oh.
forget.
Yeah.
So I can never be critical if somebody else forgets because I forget it all the time.
All right.
So
and
he's got a disorder
disorder
check with a plus 10 because of the nighttime, so he's
Yeah.
going to be disordered.
Ordered, yeah. So
That's going to complicate things.
that's going to complicate.
Nah, piece of cake.
Of course, on the other hand, I mean, the nice part about this is, yeah, he's kind of got in his mind, maybe I'll go ahead and attack. But right now, he's kind of like, well, I don't have to.
And that one's going to move forward. So
This would be an excellent example of when you might choose not to.
oh, actually, let me just look at this.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it's a big stack.
I didn't realize that was a.
Yeah, that's
Oh, holy smokes, yeah, I mean-
18 increments.
That 12 was big enough. I had no idea there was a 6 under him.
And
Be not so nice tomorrow at noon.
I just love how Siri just randomly decides to start talking to me about what she thinks I said, which usually has nothing to do with what I said.
all right. All right, so that's that there. Okay.
Okay.
So next oh, I could do fire before movement, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Oh,
this guy could fire.
That guy could fire, and so he's got 5 increments. Whatever's my
Probably 20 to 20, so it's probably 1 to 1.
and oops. 32. That ain't gonna
Nah,
do shit.
that's not going to do anything.
They're done. Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
So all right.
Have the guys in the blue bonnet attack.
Oh, yeah, the blue bonnet. You're right.
They got to be, what, 42nd foot? There's got to be some sort of scotch.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Got the, looks like the flag of St. Andrew, right? They've got some blue and white.
Oh, it's the Black Watch.
Yeah. Black Watch.
All right, let's see if so disordered makes the SPs in half, right?
Yes.
It does. So he's got 4 SPs. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about yours too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right. So I got 5. You
You
got,
4.5 there, 5.
right. So
And
it's 3 to 1.
Total is if I'm just trying to figure.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the 5. So it'd be 9. So that wouldn't be 2 to 1 anymore.
Like if I did both, but if I did the other one, probably the all right. Let's do all 3 attacks. Heck,
There you go.
why not?
I'm sure Paul Borchers is properly appalled.
All right. Well, you got to make your morale checks first. Remember.
Yep. Yeah. What orders you doing?
We'll start with my biggie stack. We'll see if they're doing
Okay.
anything good.
+5.
Well, they're
That's
happy.
good. Plus
Disordered
10 on
one.
this one. Oh no, +10, -10, so it's 0 on this one.
The one in the middle.
And
27.
that's
They pass.
Yeah. And then the one on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pass. So everything's going in.
Right.
All right. All right, and you've already placed the counters in such a way as to suggest the lineups here, right?
That's the way it looks.
So which one are you doing first?
Let's do the biggie first.
Okay. So he is disordered, which gives him a +5. He is in a supported line, which gives him -10. So it's -5 plus the Army morale 13. So it's +8, I think. Everybody okay with
Yeah,
that?
that sounds about right. Yep.
Okay,
and
so he
pass.
looks like he's all right. So firing at half strength, so it's basically only going to be 20 strength points. So it's only going to be 1 to 1 instead of the 2 to 1 it has been.
Yeah.
I do get a target size modifier of +5 though. So
So plus 25.
So it's going to be 1 to 1 plus 25. We'll see what that yields. Nothing.
Wow. Dodge the bullet on that one.
Actually, I take that back. It is a disorder check.
Oh.
Oh, disorder check.
Just by the hair of my chinny chin
No,
chin.
and he passed.
All right. Very good. All right. So then that is 18 coming in to 5. So it's 3 to 1 raw odds. And I'm a 3 and you're a 3.
Yep.
Am I seeing that all right?
That's the
3,
way it
3.
looks.
And here I am. It is magical. It is truly magical how I can misplace charts. It's
There's this thing called a stapler.
no.
Come on.
No. This will never do.
So this is a check B, so you're not half dead. You're disordered, so that's +5. You've got your army morale. You're in a supported line, so that's -10. So it's just a -5. And that's it, right? No other.
What are you talking about? I've already done that.
Oh, you already done that. Oh, okay.
I've already done defensive fire, for goodness sake.
What are we
Use the
looking
disorder
at
check.
then?
So now we are looking at the
Close
were
combat.
there any modifiers I was forgetting? And I don't think there are. I think it's just 3 to 1 straight up.
Yeah, that's what it looks
I
like.
think so. 3 to 1 straight up.
So roll a 0, brother.
Okay.
Ah,
Oh,
so
that's
it's a
actually worse.
5, a -5.
Yeah.
It looks like it says MM.
Oh, boy, that was a terrible roll.
Yep.
All right, so attacker has to do it first. So it's going to be 29 to you. All right. The defender goes next. It's going to be 41 to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I guess you do it again. It's still what, another 3 to 1?
Yeah, and because there were no enfilade factors here, nothing changes.
Yeah.
Enfilade comes off after the first roll, and cavalry modifiers do as well. So I think it's exactly the same thing again.
Yeah. Roll better. So that's going to be a
Okay,
+1. So
On 3 to
1D,
1.
1R, right?
Okay, there we
The
go.
defender loses
1D.
1 is disordered. Attacker loses 1 is routed. Am I looking at that correctly?
Oh, plus
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, in the +1
3 to 1?
category. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Attacker loses 1 and is disordered. The defender loses 1 and is routed.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
You said attacker loses 1 and was routed.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm feeling dyslexic. I'm just channeling how all of my attacks went. What? The attacker actually gets to survive? What?
inconceivable.
I know. Oh, more artillery to the graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah, fortunately, it doesn't count for much. Alrighty.
And you get to
So,
advance.
1 and disorder and advance. That's right.
Forgot my disorder there. Disorder.
That's the Black Watch for you.
Yeah.
And I might as well give myself whatever advantage I can here.
Yep.
So.
These guys are going, shwoo.
Hey, we're supposed to be there.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go to the next one, I suppose. Which was the next one you want to do?
We'll go next one up the line.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked, I tell you. Okay. All right. So let's see. Not half dead. So it's going to be plus 23 minus whatever the leader offers. Let's see what we get there. Don't need to look that one up. Okay, so we'll do defensive fire. There's only one gun increment left, so that's going to be good for 4. There's 4 infantry increments that'll also be good for 4. So it's going to be 20 altogether. So it's 1 to 1.
Well, it's not because the woods have a fire.
Oh,
defense
you're
of
right.
30.
He's in the woods.
Yeah.
All right. So it's 1 to 1.5, and it's going to be -5 for size, plus 15 or plus 20, so plus 15 altogether. So 1 to 1.5 plus 15. Sound good?
Sure.
Ah!
And that's a nothing.
Like, did you guys put powder in?
Yeah.
Or did you just load the shot without the powder?
I think they forgot to.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was impressive. Okay. All right. So your fellas are numbering 4, and my fellas are numbering 4. So it's 1 to 1. And then we'll look at other things like 3. And I could have sworn I flipped my guys over. Okay, I'm going to say it one more time. I could have sworn I flipped my guys over.
There they are.
Good Lord.
So you're at +4.
All right, so that's +4 minus 3 for the enfilade, so +1. So you are at plus
net
2
+2.
at 1 to 1. 1 to 1 plus 2.
Oh, does disorder also have that?
Oh, yeah.
No, the
I believe-
disorder is
Has
it
my
has
speed.
a number of increments, but it doesn't have your combat value. Right? So your combat
No.
value is +3.
No,
right?
no. 50% combat losses would have your CV, but disorder has your SPs.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's
still
1 to
+3.
1 because you've got 4 SPs, I've got 4 SPs.
Right.
And so it's 1 to 1 plus 2 because of the passive enfilade.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So the net is a +2 for the Brit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome roll.
Yes.
Big shot.
There we
+9.
go. So a 9 at 1 to 1 is
1D2R.
2R.
All right. I'm already disordered. Does that mean I go shaken?
Yes, I think you go disordered and shaken, I believe, but let's look it up. And Okay. 2, 3, 4. All right. So they took 2 losses and are now routed. And that guy actually hasn't been activated, so he'll stay like that. Okay. Gonna double
14.3.
check what I believe to be true, that he becomes disordered and shaken.
If the unit's already disordered, it becomes shaken disordered.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Am I supposed to be able to flip that?
If you
No, I think
increase
if you hit the increase.
increase, I think we'll do it.
Can disorder it.
That tells you how little damage has been done to his army. He didn't even know that.
All right. Oops.
There we go. Time to roll up the last one there.
Let me just take a quick look. Oh, come on. Seriously. Okay, there we go. Yep. Very good. Okay, so then we'll look at the next one here, and he is plus 10 for outflanked, plus 13 for army morale, minus 6, so it's plus 17, looks like.
Yep.
So he's all right.
Yep.
All right, so
You've been for the odds that you've had, you've been doing really good at standing.
yeah, the plus 13 hasn't really done that much harm to me, has it? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I fully expected to see more trouble.
Yeah, usually 40% of your guys would be,
Yeah, exactly.
and I think
All
you
right.
literally stood on every one of them
Yeah,
too.
I
Just
yeah.
I've gone in on
think-
everyone.
I think I have. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. All right, so it's what it's going to be 24 to 30, so it's going to be 1 to 1.5. It's going to be plus 15 because of small unit size and defensive combat. So 1 to 1.5 plus 15 is what I believe we got.
Sounds good to me.
Uh-oh. Defensive fire special result. Where's that damn chart?
Infantry fire special result.
No,
Oh,
it's defensive fire special
So
result.
that's 0-2, right?
For the Americans.
Shift odds column 1 to the right and re-roll. So now it becomes a 1-to-1 shot, right?
However,
Yes,
notice, however, there's an asterisk on it too.
Oh.
So we got to do the leader loss thing as well. So I'm gonna roll for the combat. It's gonna be 1 to 1 plus 15, right? Because it was 1 to 1.5.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it'll be 1 to 1. All right, here we go.
You don't get any pluses anymore,
Oh,
though, right?
7.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 7. So
now it's halve the fire strength, or does that?
no. You don't get a special result on a special result.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but we do need to roll on the leader loss table,
Right.
and I don't know who needs to roll. I mean, I guess David, you should roll. It's your commander is about to get killed.
All right.
Potentially.
So it's
Potentially.
one die.
Just
Okay.
one die.
All right. 8, whatever that means.
8.
Okay, that's braving the enemy fire. Roll for each enemy leader in the target hex. Now you roll a 0-2 kills him, 3-4 wounds him, 3-4-5 wounds him. So you want to roll high again.
All right.
Oh,
You did. All right.
You shot a little bit of the feather off the plume of his hat there.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah, we couldn't have killed the entire British command of that wing in one fell swoop. Could have been. They're all pretty
Yeah.
close.
No,
getting-
I was thinking that would have been the headline in the Philadelphia Inquirer tomorrow, right?
American Marksman.
Okay. All right. So it's basically the same story as last time, because I got +4, but -3. So I'm a 1. I expect you're a 3 plus maybe a 1 for your leader. Oh, +2 for your leader. All right. So you're a 5. I'm a 1. So you're +4 at 1 to 2.
Or actually, at 1 to 2, or
Yeah, it's 1 to 2 because it's 5 to 8.
hook doesn't go count anything in that.
What?
Hook doesn't matter.
No.
Okay, just for firing out of there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So 9-9.
Wow.
99. So, and it was 1 to 2 with a +4.
4.
So it's just
Yeah.
going to be a 4. So that's
Yes.
that's an M.
MM. Yeah. All right. So attacker rolls first.
All right.
And
What's
your
mine?
leaders.
That was
4.
that was close.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was very close.
With the army morale, it got very close.
Yeah.
So- okay. Okay. Moment, please.
Well, with the army morale, wouldn't they have failed? If it's +5,
Yeah.
so they would then be a 29.
No,
Yeah.
-4. That'd be 20.
Right, that'd be a 25, and they're
Oh, you're
24.
right. You're right. He did fail. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got confused with my pluses and minuses because he's effectively a 20 with the leader, but a 25 with
Right.
the army morale. So yeah, he does. He routes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Bump, and he's already flipped over, and he loses 1.
Yes.
Yes. No. Hold on. Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right. Interesting.
All right, now you just roll up your guns, and they'll finish up everything.
I think the gunners are going to look
Yeah.
at all the infantrymen running past them and are going to say, yeah, maybe not.
You just unlimber
Maybe
them and just
not.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's a case of a couple of those went well and one of them went not very well. I was
Well-
kind of hoping to win 2 of those, honestly.
Yeah, well, I was expecting to lose 2 of them.
I was a little miffed that I ended up on the losing end of that deal, but whatever. Stuff happens. Okay.
Time to roll. I can't.
I think
Michael,
that
you
was
go ahead and roll, or somebody needs to roll. I can't remember who.
Oh, you know what? I think it was David anyway, so
Yeah,
I'll roll.
All right,
All right, that's
another
end turn
American, and
then.
it's end turn.
All right. Okay, so who's left? Well, I guess I'll go ahead and activate the Fort Virginia since he's sitting right here and wants to take one more shot because he can. Do the disorder recovery.
Yep.
And then shoot, and that's going to be it's going to be 1-to-1, no modifier. No, yeah, 1-to-1, no modifier, because it's going to be 24-20, and
Yep.
they're not
There's only
big
10
enough
increments
they're
there,
not
yeah.
small enough to be a problem. So, all right, there we go. And it's probably
1 to
not
1, I don't
enough.
think that's enough.
Yeah, I don't think so. I need 70. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, that was fun. And then as far as moving, I think that would be, insane, because you're just going to shoot the hell out of me if I move. So I don't really know what the point of that would be. I mean, you're gonna shoot the hell out of me anyway. I'm just thinking that I don't know why I want to make it happen any sooner than necessary. So I don't think I will. There's other guys in the fourth, but I think they've all run away. There's
Very
that
wise of
guy
them.
who hasn't run away yet, so he's still available. I'll just go ahead and whoops. Oh, well, he can't move. So anyway, so he's there. He's fine. That's it. That's really all there was to that particular activity. So I will just flip him over, and then it's yours, Eric.
Well, this is the leader for the 4th Virginia.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was this?
So Stevens is a wing
Oh,
leader.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Or a
Okay,
brigade
right.
leader
So
or something. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, I mean,
All right. I will roll.
actually, you know what? Since this guy contributes nothing, well, he can't run anyway. Never mind. Carry on.
Okay.
All right. That's one for you guys.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously, we need to move down and see what the Hessians are up to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So can I actually move anything? Or
No.
You've
Not
got some in. He's got some in road.
So
Oh
only
yeah,
stuff-
yeah. These guys here are in road column.
Can stuff shoot or no?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You actually do the entire activation process. The
Right.
only thing is, you can only move if you're in road column on a road.
Okay.
So you have to figure out who you want to activate. Do your disorder check.
Yep, you do the whole deal.
Fire.
Right. Okay. And so the only people that can move are people that are in road column.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
on
is
a
that
on
one?
a road.
Yeah, that's right. So like these
So
guys.
These guys are on road column on a road.
That's right.
And these guys are road column on a road.
Right.
So
And-
I guess I can move them forward a
And
little
the movement
bit.
has to be on a road.
Yeah. So I guess I
And
can
you'll-
move them up here, right?
Well, first let's start.
Yeah. First of all,
Do
you
your
gotta
disorder checks.
figure out what
What commander are you activating?
exactly.
Well, let's see here. It would be, I guess, because we got
Well,
two different units there, right?
Exactly, and that's the other thing about that, because you're going to effectively end up having to move them separately anyway, because they're going to have to activate at different times.
Right. So we'll activate, I guess, the commander for the 2nd, right? And so then he and that little unit, that one can move, right? Am I understanding it correctly?
Are there any disordered?
I don't have any, none of the units that are part of that are disordered.
And are any of his? And you can also you got independent, right? The
Yep.
skirmisher.
So yeah, I could have these two skirmishers fire at this guy, I guess, right?
That's what you would do before you move. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've got 3 and 3. I've got 6 increments. Those are my Queen's Rangers, so they're times 4. If I'm looking at that correctly, yes. So that's going to be 24. So that's going to be a 1-to-1 shot on those guys there, if I'm reading that correctly. Here we go. 56, that's going to be a miss, I'm pretty sure. So, okay. And that's it for me. I don't know that there's much else I can do that's worth thinking about. So we'll flip him over.
I think we skipped Michael on that last roll, but
What does Michael need to roll for?
for the next turn,
Oh, okay.
we went from me to you, where
Oh.
it should have gone to Michael. But
Okay, that's okay. Michael can roll now. That's if Michael's there. Michael.
Okay. Did I win while I was away?
You did. We've conceded the game.
Thank you. Thank you
We've
very
decided the Americans should have their independence.
much. Okay.
We're just doing it a little
freaking time.
earlier.
About freaking time. Okay. Terribly sorry. Where were we?
You're going to roll for initiative.
Oh, you shot and got nothing.
Yeah, I got shot and got nothing.
Excellent. What? Why is it my turn to roll for?
well,
nothing?
we skipped you. So we're going back and picking you up.
Fine.
All right,
There
that's
we
a
go.
tie.
All right.
And that's Michael's.
Probably doesn't matter much. Is there any?
No, you actually. I was going to say that last one came out of road column already, right?
Are you talking to me?
I don't have anybody in road column
Yeah,
anymore.
I was going to say you had that
Yeah.
one. But
Yeah, but they've already
Yep.
they've already come on out. All right. I guess just in the interest of just getting things done, I think the New Jersey Brigade is up here. Where's the leader for the New Jersey Brigade?
He's the unnamed one. If it's the brigade that's up here in the north, right?
Yeah. Where the hell is he?
Is he here with the guys that are routing? No, that's Lafayette.
This one right here.
Where? Keep blinking. I haven't seen him yet.
No, that's Sullivan.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
NG Brigade Commander.
Right, yes, with that particularly clever name, yes. Okay, and I think he's got a unit that's down here. Okay, all right, so, well, he's not going to do anything. We're just going to go ahead and flip him over. All right, and is there anybody left? Oh, yeah, well, Nash hasn't gone yet, actually. So, yeah, there's still plenty to do.
All right.
All right, Eric,
Okay, I
or
will roll
somebody.
Yep.
65. That's the Brits.
Okay.
All right, so down here with the Dnieper, and we really can't move anything. So I guess the only thing we could move. Let's see, do we have anybody that's disordered? No. The first brigade's the only body who's got somebody who's in road column that can go anywhere, I guess. And these guys could go here, right? I mean, they can't go in road column chasing you down the road, can they? They'd have to stop when they get here, or would they go past you? And get
Well,
shot at?
all right. No, let's talk that through. So, there's nothing to say. Well, wait a minute. How many increments has he got left?
He's got 3 increments left.
3 increments left. Okay. So actually, he could pass through this hex without any difficulty.
Right.
He will cause a pass-through event
Right.
when he tries to go through this guy. So he will have to roll for disorder. So will the guys that he passes through.
Right.
And then he could march up to here, but now there's a zone of control there, isn't there?
Yeah, you're in skirmish, right?
Yeah.
even though
yeah.
you're shaken. So
Yeah, but still have a zone of control.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you could keep on marching right on up there, but you'd
I'd have to stop when I get there, and I'd be in road columns. So
in road column and getting shot at,
yeah,
which would be
I'll
hysterical.
I'll just move him there and consider myself happy that he
All
was
right.
able to move at all.
All right, so that was First Brigade.
Yep. Okay.
David.
Boom. It's another one to
Okay.
you.
Big wing activation.
Yeah, that's great. So let's see. Well, I mean, I guess I got to do the second Pennsylvania, so this guy can shoot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, got to. Except, did
So that's Humpton.
did we ever come to the conclusion that that was in fact not even going to be?
So you've got two
It's
increments times.
It's 8 to 20.
Yeah, with a
So it's
minus 10 or
with a
something.
minus 10 for sharp for skirmishers. So I don't think I can hit. I mean, I guess I could get a special result. So, all right. So and Humpton is back here.
Yeah.
And so sure, I guess this guy will go ahead and fire and hope for a special result. Although most of the special results aren't going to help either. But what the hell?
No.
Or I'll just roll a 16,
Two
pretending
16s
I'm
in a
playing
row.
La Bataille.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That
All right,
would
so
also fail as a role in La Bataille.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the vibe I was going for there. And
Now
these,
the guys
What?
back there with Humpton can move.
yes, and
Because
I
they've
was
got their
figuring,
voluntary route, right?
right.
Uh,
So that
they-
should be
They
it.
can only move 4 in the. Oh, that's the non-route. Excuse me. That is 8.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, during movement, right.
This is the new and improved route rules. Or we should say new and clarified.
New, clarified, and maybe even better.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. All right, so that's it for Humpton. There's nothing else to do. And then I think it's my turn to roll, which I
Yep.
just did, and we just rolled.
Special result. This is
Special.
another.
That's a
The-
disorder recovery
Yep, we've
thing
seen
for
that
you
one
guys.
Well, I've already done it for one. You've got a whole bunch of people now that could probably benefit from trying to get a.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
the
got
last
it, you
time.
know.
Well, I still don't have an.
Oh, your
The one-
leaders.
again,
You
I
got
don't
one
have a
guy
leader
that's
for
got a leader that's alive, right?
Yep,
This guy here. And
Yep.
so.
yep. So you could activate. Was that the third?
Yep.
Yep.
And and that would apply to. Oh well, wait a minute. Actually, it probably wouldn't
1,
apply
2,
to them
3, 4, 5.
because I think they'd have to be
I think
within
they-
his.
Out of command, right?
Yeah, pretty sure they are. Probably got to almost certainly need to be in command in order for that to count. But he could still do the stack he's with.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Um,
disorder recovery, and then a rally phase for everybody within command range of the leader.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's no disorder recovery because nobody's in command range, and what? Fortunately, and I don't have to roll my activation for that.
No.
No, this is one that's automatic.
Yeah. There's no initiative. You don't need to make an
Right.
initiative check.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Right. So, oh yeah, that's not enough.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but hey, as a lovely parting prize, we will give you a K-Tex tile spacer.
What did I need? Or what's the modifier for it?
So you've got your routed, right?
Right.
Right. So that's
you're
plus
gonna have a
15,
Plus 15.
15. Okay.
and then
yeah,
plus 5 more for army morale, so it's
Right,
plus
plus
20.
20.
So yeah, that wasn't going to be
Yeah.
good enough.
So
All
you
right.
need to roll a 40 or better, or above a 40, right? Do you roll the number or higher, or you have to roll
Number
than
or
the
higher.
number?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
yeah.
Number or higher. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Uh-oh. We got
Michael,
another
go
one.
ahead and roll again for.
Move the end turn marker up one or down space. Up or down one space. Is there any possible way I could make any use of that? Realistically,
I don't think you'd want to because I haven't moved my Hessians.
yeah.
And so suddenly, if
All right.
we've moved the other direction, now my
Right.
Hessians can start coming forward and
Yeah.
making
No, I
life
think I
uncomfortable.
will elect to move it down one.
Make it even more
Make it even more Endian.
more endy. Yes.
Yes. Yes, I believe that would be the way I would want to go with that because there's literally no upside and plenty of downside. So,
All right, just keep rolling more special stuff.
yeah, I'm going to keep on.
Roll
We're
a
going
9-0 now.
we're gonna read the whole table. Ah, there's another one for you.
Another one for me. Well, let's see. Who hasn't moved yet? Some other poor people of mine. So I will. This guy that's on the other side of the creek, we're just going to move him forward. There's one. And then he's going to turn.
Can't move.
He can't move?
He's not in road column.
Oh, you're right. Yep. Okay. So we will flip him over, I guess. Hooray. Okay. Whose turn to roll now?
Yours.
5-0. What's that one?
5-0. We're just pulling out all the stops
Oh,
here.
5-0.
5-0.
Pick a command performance for. No, it's the same thing we've already been doing. It's another
Initiative
disorder
required.
recovery and rally phase.
No, is it?
No,
It
no,
says free combat.
no. 5 is yours.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
So a 5-0 and a 6-0 have the same meaning.
Well, who do you? I mean, I've got somebody I could do something with. I
I
don't
can't
think
do
that was
anybody.
part of
He,
the
he
second.
can't. He's minus a bunch of leaders.
Yeah.
So there's
I
nothing
can
he
at
can do.
least this chap here. We can try to see if we can unshake him, right?
Yeah, because
this
he's
guy
part of
already
the.
went, and so,
Right. So he's part of the other
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep. Make it happen.
No,
Ooh, hard no.
very much so.
All right. Well, that was a
Hey,
good
but
time.
I earned an exciting
Hey now.
tile.
All right, David.
tile
No, I
Try
just
breaker.
did that.
This time with
Oh,
feeling.
I get to roll again?
Yeah,
Until you get a real value,
All right.
which
there we
you
go.
did.
that's us.
All right.
All right. So I think at this point I've just got the Hessians that
Mhm.
haven't done anything yet, and there's one
Same
set
thing,
of
they
guys
can-
that are in road column.
They can march up the road and take their chances on disordering themselves and everybody around them.
Yeah, no, I will spare myself that indignity
All right.
because don't we have a? Oh, that's only if I go. There's that 10 for nighttime disorder, right? In movement disorder.
Well,
check,
yeah.
that's
I'm just talking about pass-through checks. That's all.
So, all right, I'm done. Whose turn is it to roll? Michael.
Must be
Michael.
mine. 7. Free movement segment only. Initiative required.
I don't want to move anybody. I don't think let's just roll again, Michael.
I mean, if David wants to move. I mean, he might find.
I don't have my only commander
Oh, you have a leader.
Yeah,
has had a special result already, and he's not eligible.
yeah.
Okay, never mind. God, what a fiasco. All right. Have you got anybody left? That was it for you, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then this will be over to me. I think has that guy should be flipped. No. He's the commander. Okay, I think everybody up north is done.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Nash never activated. All of his units are routed away, but he never activated.
And
So-
and You also got Scott sitting there with 3 casualties on him, but that's okay.
Scott?
Yeah. The casualty marker for the artillery looks like it got
Oh,
moved back.
Oh yes, yes. Thank
So
you. You're right
Scott
because
had,
the artillery vaporized, but
yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right. So that's it. Eric.
okay. Here we go.
Okay.
I don't
I
know that we've
think
got.
I got I got this guy here who has not activated, so I will activate him. That's that. And then who else have I
All
got
you've got left is the
left?
First Virginia down here.
Yep.
At
I think
Painter's
that is the
Crossing.
last I think that is the last one I have.
Yeah.
And so we just need one more initiative rolls.
How about Hartley in the first PA?
Where are they?
No, they already went because they were the guys that did the voluntary route.
Yeah, that was Hart.
Yeah, they need to. You
Oh,
needed to flip them
hold
over.
it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Uh, no, they haven't done anything. It was Humpton who did the voluntary route.
Oh, okay.
Right. So this guy hasn't done anything. So yeah, there's 2 left. So David, throw a die. Okay. All right.
Pick one.
All right, and over to me, one last one. Right, and this guy could actually move, and I just am really struggling to think why moving would matter. But in the interest of I'm a completionist, there we go. There's 8 right there, and he is flipped over. Okay, I believe that is the last of my activations.
Wow.
I should move George Washington just to get him out of harm's way, and yet keep him close enough to, talk to his troops. And
Be inspired.
all right, there we go. Roll to see who rallies first. You guys rally first this
Okay.
time.
All right. So, David, let's start with you and all your blasted, shaken, and bloody troops
All right,
there.
we'll start up here at the top, I guess.
Yeah.
Here.
No, we need to start with shaken units.
Shaking. Okay.
Shake
Do I?
and bake.
Yeah, you got a shaken one here.
In there. I think that's the only shaken one I got.
Yeah, it was probably a little more all or nothing otherwise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he is.
So he is going to be at plus 20.
Yeah, and I did a 94
Yeah.
there. So I
Okay. Yep.
think he passed.
All right. So that's that. And do you want to just go ahead and do your routed one and then we move south?
That's
Sure.
probably the most sensible thing to do.
All right.
We'll start up here, whatever. So,
Right.
and he's
Oh.
continues to route. And
Yeah, and another increment loss, actually.
Because it's less than his printed morale.
Less than his printed value. That's right.
Uh-oh. Where did he go?
What happened?
he's still there.
I don't
No,
see
he
it.
isn't.
He moved. He routed.
Oh, you moved him? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Good heavens. That was so weird.
I was zoomed in pretty tight, and then suddenly, like, he's off the
Yeah.
screen. Where'd he go? Okay.
Do this one here. Oh,
They're going to be happy. There's not much left of them, but
oh
what's
my
left
gosh,
of them's
no.
going to be
he's
happy.
now shaken and disordered, right?
Correct.
Yeah, shaken, disordered, any formation, single hex. Alrighty.
This one here.
58, and you got Howe there. I'm sure he's inspiring.
What? Okay, so he's half dead, so it's plus 30, so 58 just barely gets it. But then if Howe helped.
-10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. All righty.
So they're shaken and disordered. So if you're shaken and disordered and you fail, you just stay that. You don't become routed.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no jeopardy once you become unrouted.
Right.
It's you remain in jeopardy as long as you're routed.
Right.
All right. The last one down here. 51.
29. I'm thinking.
He's going to be at plus 20.
Oh, he's,
So yeah, I think that's all
gonna
right.
Pass. That's going to be a 49.
I think that's yeah.
Just recovered by the skin of his collective teeth.
Mm. Well, and considering, dental hygiene, probably considerably thin
Yeah.
or thick skin on those teeth.
These are British and Germans, not known for having the best looking smiles. So
Right. And you want to be in line?
what formation do you want to
Oh,
be
yeah.
in the woods there?
in column. I'm sorry.
Pretty good bet that column is the move there.
I wasn't.
I'd put him in road column.
Yeah. Actually, you can't. He's too big.
Oh, shocking.
Did somebody put him in there? Oh, there.
How much typing does it take to move him into road column or into march column?
Well, I'm trying to.
All you have to do is just rotate him, right?
Commander is
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing the one with Howe.
Yeah, that was who it was.
No.
Oh
No,
no,
you rolled the
The
Jaegers.
guy in the trees.
well, I would have done that one group too.
Oh, okay. You got to do both of them. Okay.
That's forgot. That's what we're doing, and this one here. Boom.
Okay. All right.
We're
Yeah,
waiting.
clearly, Eric, you and I are zoomed in pretty far because
Yeah.
he does anything other than what we're looking at, and we miss it completely.
Well, I'd gotten a comment from somebody who was watching it saying, they can't really see sometimes the details. So I'm like, okay, I'm
Sure.
going to try to zoom in a
Right.
little bit more so that way it shows up a little bit
Yeah.
better on the computer.
I mean, there are
screen.
great things about Vassal, but the fact that that the zoom in, zoom out problem is real.
Yeah.
Because especially with the fancy script on some of these things, if I don't zoom in, I can't read a darn thing. But then, I can see 12 hexes. Well, that's nice.
All right. I don't think I've got anybody routed down south. I've just got some shaken people. So.
Oh, yeah, but that's right.
Yeah, because I think everyone recovered, fortunately. All right, so I've got this chap here. We'll go ahead and roll for him.
Alrighty.
Nope, he failed. And we'll roll for this guy here. And he failed as well.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Good times. All right. So over to the other side,
Yep.
who has lots of people who are shaken, routed, you name it.
So
Where do you want to start?
you roll for shaken first, is that correct?
Yep.
you've
So
got
we'll
these.
start up.
Yep.
We'll start up here at the very tippity top, and he's going to be at plus 33. So, frankly, odds were never very good for him. And then we'll go to this guy, who's. Let's see, where is that chart? He says for the 37th time this evening. Where is that damn chart? Rally attempt. He's not in an EZOC, so actually really no problem. All right, so he's just plus 23, which is still more than I can handle. So he's no better off. let's see. If we come back here, we got this guy shaken. So I can roll for him. He is plus 20 because he's got a -3 leader with him. No joy there. Boop, boop, boop. I think that's it until we get down to here, down near George Brenton's house.
Right, we got some shaken.
Got these guys here. That is 15. So plus 28. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I should have rolled for disorder recovery on these guys when the 3rd Pennsylvania and the New Jersey battalions activated. I didn't realize they were there. So let me just do that. So disorder recovery for this guy. Okay.
Just shake.
Just shaken. And we'll go ahead and do it for this guy too. Just get it out of the way. And he's still shaken and disordered. So now we'll roll the rally roll for this knucklehead. It'll be plus 23, and he stays shaken. This guy will be plus 28. Magically, he manages to become unshaken, but
merely disordered.
there we go. Merely disordered. I don't know why he's got. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's see. Is anybody else shaken? Oh yeah. The skirmishers right here are shaken. So half dead, shaken, army morale, that's going to be plus 33. So it's going to be plus 29. Need to roll pretty well here. Don't roll pretty well here. Very nice. And I think that's going to be it for shaken, guys, because everybody else is actually still routing. Yes, that is correct. All right, then. We'll start up at the top with the topmost routed unit, which I guess is this one here. And
Now it's individual, right?
yes, it is. Yes, it is. And this is where I get so annoyed because now I have to double check to see who's half dead.
So the 8th Virginia is
They're
fully
both
half dead.
they're both
They're
half
all
dead.
half dead, yep. Some are just
Okay.
more half dead than others.
All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, so the so that's plus 30, well, it's plus 33 then. So what's that mean? He needs like better than a 61? Well, that was better than a 61, I guess.
All right, and then you got
Right.
then you got Patton's regiment. Come on.
I gotta roll for the bottom one again, same thing. Oh,
Oh,
well,
there you go.
okay, never mind.
George C. Scott gave him an inspiring speech.
Evidently. Okay, is that... Yes, okay, very nice. All right, so we'll move to this next knucklehead here. Again, okay, no, he's not even close to half dead. In fact, he's just a freaking coward for running away with so many of his fellows still alive. So that's going to be plus 23. Interesting.
You're on a roll.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, don't want to get too carried away here.
Who's next?
It's going to be Hazen's regiment, it looks like.
I'm just I'm just sitting here thinking, does it make sense to even be screwing with this, or does it just make more sense to do that?
So you can run away faster.
Well, I mean, you guys are gonna have a hard time reaching me.
Yeah.
So it just seems like it makes more sense just to march away. I mean, you can't get to me before I can leave. At least I wouldn't expect you to. And as far as this guy who's actually still in some degree of fighting trim, I don't know. It says any single hex valid formation, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just trying to decide, do I just put him in left hook? I mean, theoretically, he still has some fight left in him. All right. Okay. Who's next? These idiots. No. Yes. Yes, those idiots. All right. All right. So they are bound to be half dead based upon how many hits he's got. Well, I think he's just half dead because wasn't he an 8? And so that's 10, that's 23, that's 38. Am I right?
Yeah.
38, so it's 34 with the leader. So that's not enough. So the routing will continue
Until morale improves.
until morale improves. So he will have to route through him because I can't figure out where else he would go. And so he's going to have to roll and see if he stands. And he does, surprisingly, everyone. And so then we'll go to this knucklehead here. And this is Nash's. So the top one is the only one that isn't
Half dead. Because aren't all these guys two
Yep, they're all
factors?
yeah, they're all twos, right? So the top one is the only one. So wow, this is really interesting.
The previous one, you had to do only the top one would have routed first. You've got to make a second roll.
What are you talking about?
This one here,
There's
gotta
only
roll
one
three.
unit.
There was 2 in there, isn't there?
Nope,
There's
just
only one unit.
Oh, never mind. I had it the wrong.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm sorry. All right, so yeah, you got to roll for each one in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fascinating. Well, this is going to be a clusterfuck here. All right. So this guy, the top one is not half dead, so he's plus 15 plus, so he's plus 28, so he's at 56. And so he's going to have to route, and so these guys are going to have to take what, 4 retreat through?
Well, if all of them are out.
Well, they're all going to route. It's
Not the way you were rolling 90s.
I'm just thinking this is curious. There's just all kinds of weirdness that happens when you've got all these little 2-4 units. First of all, it means they're very brittle because they get to 50% losses with 1 increment, right?
Yeah.
Secondly, if they all have to rally separately, then 4 of them are going to go running through.
Yeah.
And 4 of them are going to cause 4 morale checks. I mean, it's a little weird, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But, so what do we got here? But since that pond's in the way, there's nothing I can do about it.
Swim.
So that's 28 with a -6 6, so that's 22. Plus 13's 35. Yeah, 35. Morale check special result. This is going to be really tedious.
Why is it a special result? Wouldn't it just be a?
Because I just rolled a 09 on an F morale check.
Oh. Friendly unit
Um,
retreats.
if the unit is stacked with or adjacent to a leader, it's passed. Okay, so so that check was passed. All right, so now the next unit here is half dead, so it's plus 10, plus 25, plus 38. So I need to roll like better than a 66. Okay, so he doesn't do me the courtesy of disintegrating. So he also routes through 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have to do the same damn thing here that I just did, and he passes again, and then we'll roll for this jackass who is plus 38. Okay. Not sure how smart this guy is.
But he's decided to stick around.
Okay. And then the last one is going to be the same as all the rest of them. And that was not going to be enough. So he's going to run too. And then we'll roll one more time for this guy, see how far we can push our luck. Apparently far enough. All right, then we'll go to this guy, and again, so tedious. Two of them are full strength. So I'll roll for them first. So they're going to be plus 28. Right. So we'll roll for the top one of those. All right. So somebody's going to stick around. We'll roll for the next one. And the next one is going to lose an increment. And route. Guess I'll go ahead and mark this guy. Okay. Now we'll get the guy on the top who's half dead. So that's 10, that's 23, that's 38, it's 34 with the leader. And he vaporizes. And oh, God damn it.
Which one was that? The 5th?
Yes.
And then we'll get the guy at the bottom who's also going to be plus 34. And he will keep running 2, 4. All right. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so who else do we got? This guy down here is still routed.
Yep.
And so
Yep. There's not much left
half,
of him.
yeah, half dead. Okay.
Just go ahead and roll and see what you get, Michael.
Just
If you roll low enough, we won't have to worry about the counter.
I'm just annoyed about this shit.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right.
It was moot.
Okay. And
Now you got to go further south, I think.
we got this guy on just north of the Nottingham Road. Looks like
He hasn't taken
looks
any
like he's
damage.
just yeah. So it's
So-
just gonna be plus 28. So 56 or better,
Oh,
or maybe he'll take some damage. And move to Mr. Gilpin's house. And then these guys not taking any meaningful damage, and the commander is -8, so that makes them 20, 35, 48. And that's going to be an increment loss. And some more route action. Okay. And then this unit's voluntarily routed, and
By the way, this guy vaporizes.
was he only one increment?
He's only one increment. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
then he's more than half dead.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
It just 50 guys. Just 50 guys with some muskets.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm again, I'm trying to figure out if it added enough value to the simulation to be worth the extra hassle of having to deal with all these extra tiny little units. Was it? I mean, I don't know. I'm finding it a little tedious. Okay, then I think the guys who were voluntarily routed will just stay where they are. And I think that's it. Is there anybody else I missed?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Okay. All right. So what okay. Well, I think that's it. We've done it.
Yep. We can hit
Okay.
the end turn, reflip everybody. Yeah.
Okay, and then
We
we
take our little
lose
happy Tilex markers off.
the tile markers. All right, now, and then let's see, we move to the 8, 20, and 0. And
Yep.
okay. All right.
Right.
So now, where does this leave us, gentlemen?
With more dead Brits and more dead Americans.
Yes, and
But David
and-
finally got to come to grips with the Americans after spending the
yeah, no, that's a
last 2 months chasing you every
Exactly.
Sunday. Every Sunday for the last 2 months.
absolutely. And he
Getting
finally
closer.
gets
I'm getting closer.
one
closer.
very
One
very
substantial excitement.
yeah, very action-packed
Yes.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. He did definitely punch a hole through the American line.
Yeah, he did. No question about that.
There were a few brave men had to be sacrificed in the process, but including
seems
Cornwallis and General Agnew.
man, that's pretty rough.
Well, that was in close
That was
combat,
pretty
so they got bayoneted
Oh, very possibly,
Yeah.
or
or sabred or something. Right?
somebody Somebody took
Somebody shot him. Pretty messy.
right. Okay.
Well, I'm going to save the game here. And
Yeah, I'm not sure why we want. Okay.
why we want to save it?
Yeah, at this point, I don't think there's much of a chance of us.
So let's game that out. It sounds like you've already kind of run some numbers. Let's figure out what you were thinking here.
Well,
Um,
okay, so the victory conditions are, get back to that. All right. The end of the 840 turn, by comparing the SP rate losses of the British and American side for this scenario, an entire artillery unit must be eliminated in order to count for one SP loss. Total of SP losses of both sides, and then divide the British total into the American total. Next, round this result down to the nearest first decimal place.
okay.
If the Americans lose 17, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Oh, heavens. Yeah, so this is going to be a pretty small number.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, we do get the thing for input number B. It says for purpose of computing SP losses, each infantry SP loss above 8 in the American NCB counts
Right.
3 losses, and
Yeah.
each loss in the British 271 counts as 3. Well, we just inflicted a number
Oh, yeah. Quite a
of
few.
casualties in which are actually triple, so that does help a little bit. But I don't
Yeah, it
think
could be.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
But it's each loss above 8, so you'd actually have to wipe half of them out before you get any benefit from that.
Wait a minute, did I read that wrong?
Each
Above-
SP
yeah,
loss above 8,
Right, I just got to
and
8.
there's only 16 of them, so
Right.
you have to kill half of them before you get any benefit.
Now, unfortunately, if this doesn't take into any account of routed,
Yes,
Like normal.
yes, yeah,
Like
exactly.
normal
I was just observing that. Yeah,
and you've got a ton of routed units on there, but has no bearing on the victory condition.
right. And then no chance you're going to get near Painter's Crossroads, so we don't add one to that result.
Right.
We don't subtract one because no, I'm not going to interdict your line of communication, as strangely defined as it was.
Right.
Subtract 0.5. But you guys met that requirement, so that doesn't count. So basically, unless you generate nearly 2-to-1 losses on me,
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would.
Right now we are, because we're close to 1-to-1 on losses, right?
We're probably we're probably a little over 1.
Right.
We're probably like at 1.1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. It's
Now,
not a lot.
Can we make up with if now that 1.1, if it was only 10 losses on one side and 11 on the other, then yeah, we could make it up. But it's like 60 something here and
Right.
50 something here. It's
Right,
like-
right. You're gonna have to do a lot to move the needle.
right.
Interesting. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think it's kind of difficult to imagine this being anything per the scoring here as anything but an American victory. I gotta confess, I'm utterly mystified by this scenario and its design.
Yeah, I because the week you missed, we were discussing it a little bit, and
Okay.
and at that point there, I was saying, well, according to the numbers, I've lost, but according to my position at that time, I was like golden. I at least my wing had no no casualties at that point. I
Right.
completely routed your whole wing.
Right.
Were, and it was like that doesn't feel like a defeat to me. So I'm trying to go.
Well, it certainly wouldn't to you because, I mean, you obviously had suffered nothing.
Right.
Obviously, if you look at the bigger picture, the Hessians took pretty horrendous casualties uh, to achieve only a tiny bit.
Yeah.
So I think if you looked at it in the bigger perspective, it's not so obviously a British win. Although, I mean, I guess you kind of
Again,
get back to the
they had probably 1-to-1 casualty ratio on you, and had again routed most of your forces down there.
I don't know that that's necessarily true. He didn't do that many casualties on mine. Most of my guys just
Oh, yeah.
left.
All your casualties were down there, or until the last, literally until
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess there were a few.
a lot of your casualties were down there.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, I, I question whether the scoring makes a lot of sense. I question whether the whole scenario makes a whole lot of sense, given that what you did in terms of your end around down the creek was, to me, the only rational thing that a British commander would do, which means that the Americans are just going to bolt and run, which means the fighting that happened up there never happens. And then the battle's going to end up developing to look something like what happened. Except I would have gotten away cleaner because I would have been able to move for a couple of turns that we weren't letting me move.
Right.
So theoretically, I'd be set up a little bit better. I don't know if ultimately that would change a whole lot, but it ends up having this very looks nothing like history, and yet all of us are doing what's being given to us as the incentives.
Right.
Um,
I think there could have been, there could probably be some things that could have changed it a little bit and make it closer. Like, okay, the units that disappeared for me, if
Yeah.
they maybe had the um, a rule instead of just disappearing, and the reason why they disappeared is because they headed south,
right.
is maybe make it so that they say, okay, they can't pass past the a certain hex line there east. So
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
so now
Yes.
now
Yes. That instead of simply disappearing.
right now
Yeah.
now they're of an incentive to go and continue down and help do exactly what they did. Um,
Well, and I guess the other thing about that is that the incentive I was given is to make sure to run south as fast as I could to make your guys disappear.
Yeah.
right.
And it's like, how much sense does that make? And how do you keep the British commander from doing what you did and looping around behind me? Because I don't think there's any evidence that that happened.
Right. So that's why you say you put it, instead of them disappearing with that 4800 rule, you have a
Mhm.
vertical line of hexes, and
Yeah.
they can't pass east of that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's just there's a bunch of things, and yes, some of the, well, and one thing that was problematic for me is that I got two exit hexes, and you quite correctly called me. It's like, why are you not going to the nearest exit hex? And it's like, well, because it doesn't say I have to.
Yeah.
Right. Now, and me,
It's like,
for the British, it does say exactly. It says for the ones coming in from the north, their
right,
their hex is this one up at the north, and then for the
right,
ones coming in the west, their hex is that one over,
Yeah.
by
and
Kennett Square there.
yeah, and if of course I had to run to the nearest one, then that would presumably tell me that I probably would have. Well, would I have been able to get Yeah, I guess well, where was that exit?
It's here by Dilworth, isn't it?
It's the one
That
that's
was the
just
one.
east of Dilworth?
Yeah.
No, there's one
Okay.
east of Dilworth, and then the
All
other
right.
one was down to Painters.
So I could have gotten south enough to make his troops disappear.
Yes.
But I would have run a real risk that, well, I would have already had a number of units run off the board.
Yeah.
Because I've got some of them that are quite a bit south now because they're running for the other one.
Right.
That just feels loosey-goosey to me. And, yeah, and boy, I don't know. I find the whole thing strangely unsatisfying at the end because I feel like we certainly had some fun and some laughs and craziness happen, but I don't feel like what happened bore any resemblance to history.
I think that's probably a very true statement. That's why we have an asterisk next to this one.
I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm still puzzled about I'm puzzled about the victory conditions.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty steep hill for the British to climb. Now, to be fair, I guess if I had some more units running off the board, that's more SP losses. That would start increasing the percentage. I think I just found that a lot of the things in the victory conditions section, like add one if the British get out through Painter's Crossing. How the hell is that ever going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
what set of circumstances would have been necessary for you to exit people out of Painter's Crossing?
Yeah. I mean, particularly when we had, and when we weren't even doing it necessarily, but the light starts to fade at, what was it, 6:20 or something?
Oh, right, which
Right.
then
Yeah.
slows everybody down even
And
more.
so we couldn't, I couldn't even cross the creek until 5:20 or something.
Right.
And so here at
Then you have to
6:20.
fight your way across the creek.
Yeah. So then at 6:20 it's twilight, and then at 7:00 it's night.
And there's no way that David was going to be able to get there. I mean,
Yeah.
he was going across two maps.
Yeah.
And then the whole -1, if the Americans cut the British lines of communication, first of all, it made my brain hurt to even try reading it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even clear ultimately how it would even make any sense. But especially with all your light troops, I couldn't see it making any sense for me to send somebody to try to do any sort of interception of your line of communications. You had light troops that would have made mincemeat of anything I would have put back there. So that didn't make any sense to me either.
Well, and what's to stop the Americans from, within the first turn or two, the stuff that's up at Birmingham Road,
yeah.
just voluntarily routing, and then the Cornwallis's troops will never catch them.
Well,
They can go south of
to be clear-
Dilworth, and then they can start to try to recover.
To be clear, the American units up north weren't able to move for a couple of turns. Remember, I think there was only one command
there
up
was
there
only
that
one
was able
command up
to
there.
move straight
Okay.
away. So to some degree, I was sticking around because I kind of had to.
Right.
And because I wasn't sure until I saw that you were, racing your way down the creek that my position was completely untenable, and then it was clear it was time to run. So I don't know. I definitely would have to say that I don't feel the need to play this one again.
Or at
All
least
right.
this scenario of it.
Well, yeah, and the interesting part about that is with scenario 4 or scenario 5 where you're literally going through the whole day.
Right.
And of course, for all the reasons we talked about, it really needs to be a 2-player game at that point, because otherwise, boy, there's going to be, well, at the rate we play, it would have been months of downtime.
Yeah.
We'll call you in April, David, when when your guys will be able to come on the board. So I mean that wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, I don't know. Very curious. And of course Matthew, obviously, um, I don't know that he really played the games.
Right.
I think he just rewrote the rules to change the format to match. So, um, if you ask him a question about why in the world's a scenario this way, well, he probably doesn't know. I
Yeah.
mean, when we've asked in the past, he's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think he, at least from my understanding, when he updated the rules for this to like make them up to date with the third edition bar rules, I don't think
Right.
he made any changes at all to the victory conditions or any of that stuff. I think it's all the same as what it
Exactly.
was originally. So
Right, because I don't think, I mean, as far as I can tell, he felt like he was not really trying to take ownership of the scenario. Somebody else
right,
did the design work on it. So, I mean, I'm just going to trust that whatever he did made sense. And that's quite reasonable to a degree,
right.
one game designer to another. But at the same time, wow, I'm puzzled. So, yeah, wow. Okay, well, you know what? I am totally okay if we elect to declare victory and go home.
I think that's probably a fair thing for us to do there.
All right.
Seeing
All
that
right.
at this stage, I don't know that we can inflict any significant damage on you, and or at least not enough to make it
Yeah, yeah, that's
tip it
probably a
any
better way of
particular
putting
way.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you could do some damage up in the north.
yeah. Because
Um,
we've got like 60 losses. I was just tabulating it really quickly on the
oh,
loss
okay.
chart,
Right, and
and
his is a little above 60, I believe. Also, when I was
yeah. So I
tabulating
mean,
through.
so that's when we divide the two, we're going to get you know
Yeah,
uh,
something
something
something just a bit
that's
over one,
yeah, yeah,
but nowhere near 1.75, and certainly not 2.2.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. It's hell to be the smartest guy in the room. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah.
This is 3 engagements I've had with you, and I've won 0.
Well, you can blame it on me.
I don't.
It was my 5-1 rolls that all went to hell in a handbasket. So
It was.
I'm glad that you had some of those so you could see just how much fun it was. Just like, oh, nothing could possibly go wrong. Oh, I rolled a 0. Oh, okay.
So, I remember winning Chatuzits.
And you won Monmouth.
I guess I did inflict a hell of a